Good evening, gamers, and welcome to Season 12 of HBF Power Rankings. I am your host, S, and I am joined with my co-hosts. Please introduce yourselves.
It is me, Substriking Down. Recently, Perfection player and your Sky mod.
Uh, hey, it's Rage. I'm also a top div player, but one of the very few shuppets that isn't a mod. Also, two other co-hosts, that being the owner, Blinn, and the mod, Necro, very well might be joining us in like 45 minutes to an hour.
The renowned admin that does all the work will continue to do more work for the whole in Battle Frontier, as is his, I don't know, oath sworn duty or something. So, yeah, these are our power rankings as we typically do them. We're gonna just go one by one through teams. We typically go in draft order rather than tier list order. We do have a wonderful tier list on the side, though, with our glorious tiers of achieving perfection, should make playoffs, might win a game, and going to Brazil for relegation.
I don't we usually have one more?
Do we usually have one more?
I don't think so.
Maybe.
Could be wrong.
Fairly certain we have 6.
Maybe.
You know, if we need to add a sixth later, I will figure that out on the fly. Normally Necro does this, and I am inept. So, yada yada yada, standard PRs, disclaimers, these are not personal attacks, don't kill me. And let's just get right off.
Can you just very, very quickly go back to,
The tier list?
yeah.
We are in the tier list, boss.
Oh, yeah, we are missing Shu in for playoffs.
Oh, that's what we're missing. Okay.
Sounds about right.
Reasonable. Do you want me to add that or figure out how the heck to... Yes, okay, I see it. Add a row above. That work. It did work. Shu in for playoffs. We've already been recording for 5 minutes and nothing is getting done. So sure, the pink is awkward and stupid, but
oh wait, no, the top should be that can be red, and the top should be gray.
Ooh, yes.
True. Yeah.
Alrighty. Look at us being competent power ranking officiants. Alrighty, let's. Yes, let's go look at our first team, Ben and the Edmonton Aegislash.
Here we have Mega Mile of Ferrothorn, Insurgent Snoop's wet dreams, because a lot of people's mind gets blown at, oh, you get Iron Bards and like the opposite of Iron Barbs on the same team.
Yes.
Yeah.
The masses.
And you also get the very typical Gliscor add-on to that, just so trying to either stack poisons or burns isn't even really helpful.
Yeah, because usually the way to beat those two is just they're kind of like almost a meme pairing because they don't. Well, Mega Milo kind of does either way because they're so bulky, but they still don't cover for Corrode. But that's where Gliscor comes in.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, the biggest issue I had with this team by far is that their only semblance of a special breaker outside of like a very occasional specific teeny is literally just Milo. Like they have no special attacking prowess at all, with the exception of Milo. Their highest special attack set, I believe, is 105. So yeah.
Like Sarah and Victini can run special sets from time to time, but both main sets run physical most of the time.
Yeah, it's not what you want to key your entire base of everything off of.
Exactly, yeah. Like both are, like, I think in general Shifu Teeny is a really solid breaking core, but that's with the caveat of they're both physical, and if they run into something that can somehow handle both of them, that being just like a really fat fairy pretty much, then it's going to have some issues probably.
I mean, like, just imagine the scenario. How does this team break Delta Regirock?
Yeah, I was kind of having
Obviously,
that
that is the
same.
most extreme example, but like,
I mean, but it's still true. Like, to be fair, both Zera and Victini get grass knot, so that would probably be the answer. But it's still definitely not ideal for a whole lot of reasons, because their best way to deal damage to it is literally, I think, the Pharaoh. So yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Fairies might cause a couple of problems, especially if they can like get 4 moves slotted on my Lodic so that it can't run refresh for whatever reason. That's weird though.
Yeah.
it is also a 7-mon team.
This is
Fungus
absolutely
is
true. Believers
Well-
in the Foong would like to disagree, but it's mostly a 7
Well,
mon team.
I feel like if Fungus was the 9th best mon, I would be fine with it. But when it's the 8th best mon, that's when I call it a 7-mon team.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I agree. Yeah, the if I'm not mistaken, the point total on this team goes from 14 to like 3, so it's like pretty bad. Yeah.
Not even 3, 1 or 2.
Oh.
Yeah,
Fungus is
1 or
2.
2. It's minorly
Yeah.
nonsensical.
I mean, like, to be fair, this is a more defensive version of what us in the server would see. I think like it would almost be like a Necro team, but like not really, because there's not enough buttons. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's mostly
I mean-
the one speed guy. Terra Delta Ambipom is kind of just here. It feels worse at everything. It's worse at being fast than Zera, and it's worse at being strong than Shifu. So I don't know why that guy's here.
I think it's mainly here because both it's a good delta, it's a pretty decent terra cap, and it fills the speed gap. And
That's
that's
fair.
good. I
That's
think
fair.
it performs fine.
That's fair. Although I do feel like if he was able to find a way to not be cringe and get a special Terra breaker, this team would be a lot better right away. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think it needed to be a special terra breaker. I think it could have just been Victini that could be changed out.
Yeah.
Like
True,
I like
honestly.
Victini. I think it has like a decent role here as like another fairy answer.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I still think that could have been better done with like either like a special fire or just like 2 different mons that are both like a cheaper poison and a like mid-tier special breaker.
Fair, yeah. I think type chart wise, this team is mostly fine. I don't see any major issues. But
Yeah, we can take a look at the type chart though. Water is not as much of an issue as would be expected.
Yeah, there's a Milo.
Thorn and Mega Milo.
Yeah, there's a Mega Milotic.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah, there's exactly zero waters that confidently say they can beat Mega Milotic. The only one that even comes close is like Rotom Wash, and even that is like barely.
Oh yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the singular flying resist?
The flying
That would be the
resist
Zera.
is the Zera.
Zero.
Okay, that is actually a little bit problematic. They have obviously the entire like left row has great neutral bulk, but that is a bit problematic. That is
Yeah,
like the
I did
woes
have
of
that
getting
same
Charizard.
thought, Zed, but when you think about it, the 2 main birds that any draft is going to worry about is just going to be Tornti Zapdos, and Zera beats both of those incredibly easily. So
True.
it's overall kind of fine.
I mean,
think.
Sarah can also very easily be worn down over time, especially for both of them, because it's not
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think well, we should also like quickly still say that even though we've been like almost entirely negative, I still look at this as a pretty solid team.
This is really good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the masses, this is really good.
Yeah, it has its problems, and there will be things to exploit in the builder, but certainly it just has good stuff. Like, we can argue about how that stuff is kind of shoved together, but it's generally good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can move on to the ranking.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is I would probably have this might, but it could also be should. I don't know.
I think we should. I think at least for now, for perfection, we should be pretty harsh. I think it's a.
It just
I think
covers
I've seen-
pretty much all its bases except for the special attacking bit.
Yeah.
Which I suppose is a fairly reasonable except.
I mean, yeah, that
There's
is a
also,
pretty.
like, removal is also like not the best because like having Gliscor Ferrothorn and then your removal will also be Gliscor is like almost
it's pretty flawed in terms of it. Really good mons, but it's pretty flawed.
Yeah, it
I
has
think
a
might,
couple
but that could
issues
easily
there.
move up if other teams are not as good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not too
Let's
far.
move
I agree.
Yeah,
Oop,
might
oop.
seem solid. Alrighty. Next on the docket, we've got the round 3 Alomomola for reasons unknown to mankind.
Yeah.
So context I can add here is that Fierce is a Paladix player in his main life with Mons, and unfortunately early fish has become a more common thing, but in Insurgents particularly when virtually everything is a mixed attacker, having it be round 3 is egregiously bad, I
It's
think.
a little
But
awkward.
Especially when there's an almost underappreciated that there's so many water immunities, which makes Mola's time a lot rougher.
exactly right,
When you can
because
freely spam Flipper. Like it has Baton Pass, but like Taunt is
Yeah.
usually a pretty common thing into Mola, and Baton Pass is also just obviously not as good as Flipper.
yeah, there's so many ways for people to just basically say F you to the fish in this meta that it's just not a smart round 3 pick personally.
It's like I look at this team and I see the mime, and then it just kind of fall like there. You don't really have the high end pieces around it. Like round 2 treads is normally fine. In Insurgents, I think it's a bit premature. The Mew is still good, but it's like very much power crept. And then, like
Yeah.
there are still a bunch of good mons here. Like Dino's still good. Mola, even if it's early, is still good. Terra Hammerod is probably one of her best Terra caps because it just makes Hammerod that much bit better. And like there are still good mons, but it is at the same time it is kind of like you just kind of shoot yourself in the foot by getting the treads and Mola that early.
Yeah, it's slightly telling that somehow the 7th and 8th best mon here are non-Terra Munchie and Terra Articuno. Those are unironically the 7th and 8th best mon here.
Somehow.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of context for my comment. It very briefly, it's just that both me and I believe was you or was Necro.
I believe it was both of us, but yeah,
both of us played. Both of us played a really good player that won with a Terra Articuno, and we both lost to it.
Yeah,
so it's a underrated Terra. I still don't think it's amazing because I think it's more to do with a good player than good Terra. But it's like as a secondary option because Samuro doesn't really need Terra all that much.
Yeah,
it's not a bad one.
It's somehow like a slightly better version of what like Terra Avalugg is pretty much, where it has very similar tools. It U-turns it as healing, it can toxic, all that kind of stuff. But it's never really going to do that much damage. Really, it's just meant to click U-turn, toxic, freeze dry, and that's about it.
Yeah. The other problem I have with this team is like, is there a single like threatening breaker here?
I think Mime is the closest, but that's
like,
about
Mime
it.
And I guess Terra Hammerod is like both like good ones, but Mime is definitely a good breaker in the right games, but it's still like partly why it's so good is also the speed, and also like Hammerod. It only needs Terra like Terra Dark or Terra Water to be a decent breaker here, and it's
I feel like that comment kind of goes back to the round 3 fish of like one of the reasons why fish is good in Gen 9 is because when you flip turn into any of the massive ass breakers that you can have in Gen 9, it becomes a really, really annoying nuisance because of what it does to get stuff in the right spot. And outside of like trying to force the Mew or force the D-Knight to be strong, which you have to you have to physically force it in that direction. Like you are right that there's zero breaking here.
It takes a lot of work.
Or I should say immediate breaking. Like setup seems pretty good, but the team needs to set up to actually do damage.
Yeah,
and
there's
not even that bulky to fall back on.
Yeah, definitely.
Who is the
there's
special tank to pair up with Mola? Is it Mr. Munchie? Are you going to run Mr. Munchie every game? Are you going to run Banded
I guess
Dragonite or
I
Banded
guess
Mime
it's
every
like
game?
Mew. Well,
I mean, like Mew is decent at that, but as we said, you need Mew to occasionally be offensive,
Yeah.
and
Mew is peak decent at everything. It's good for plugging weird holes, not specific large holes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
At least one of the things that is good about this team is obviously when on a team with like Treads, Hamu, Mew, Hazard's both removal and setting is pretty good.
yeah.
It's like
I'm a Treads hater. I will keep my mouth shut.
I mean, yeah,
It's a
that's
good
just a
player.
you thing.
Yeah.
Treads, I think it's still correct to say it is the second best removal after Tusk. Still
In Paldex,
think.
maybe.
What is better in that text? Like there are
Everything
a
that
bunch of-
tangos with bulky grounds.
I mean, that is not a lot of those are usually that good removal, and Treads can still perform pretty well into them with Ice Spinner. Obviously not like super well, but still like fine.
Yeah, it's still like instead of being S tier spinner like it would be in like Paldex, it's probably like A tier spinner, but it's still really good.
Yeah. Is there anything to note type chart wise?
Ground and fighting are a little bit rough, but fighting's not that bad, and Alomomola can usually take both of those on. Rock might be difficult, but your rock weaknesses are Articuno, Gardevoir, Dragonite.
Yeah, like there's still the 4 times resist, even though every rock
Yeah,
gets
there's still the 4 times resist of Alomomola.
True. Yeah, and there's also like not that many good offensive rock types.
Yeah, it's basically.
Oh, yeah, by all means.
I'm really not sure if there's one drafted.
Tyranitar.
It would be Blitz Tyranitar, yeah. It would be Blitz Tyranitar.
Big man Tyranitar is in this league.
Deal with Tar for the most part.
Yeah.
At least physical, at least like Tar clicking Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Alrighty.
still,
We do have to put this somewhere.
It's 100%. It's 100% below Ben's. I just don't know if it's in bottom of might make playoffs or bottom of might win or top of might win a game.
oh, it's definitely not in the same tier as Ben. Not even close.
Above or below?
No, below.
Putting it here then?
Because like I almost think there's a tier between those two.
Really?
But I don't think.
Intriguing.
I do not like this team very much. Like it has.
I think
good
it's pretty
mons.
weird, yeah.
It has some good
Pretty
mons, and it has like some synergy, but it's like I look at the team. I'm not remotely scared at all.
Same.
Here, how about this?
Like,
We're gonna leave it in might win a game as punishment for saying, "Hey, you like got 5 I forgot there was a Delta in round 1. Never mind. I'm gonna shut my mouth. I thought they were being pseudo cringe. They're not being pseudo cringe. They just have the one guy. But also, this top 6 is probably going to show up to most of the games, and then these guys are just here. These 4 feel like they're here to pad Delta spots.
Yeah.
It definitely is, yeah.
Yeah,
I think we can probably leave them where they are.
Yeah, we'll leave them where they are. We'll add other things in later. Why am I pressing left when I'm on the tier list?
Okay.
Alrighty,
So, Han.
let's go on to the pick 3 Ruin Gross. I'm so happy for my boy. And also...
That was almost traded away.
Generic Cole's team number, yes.
Yeah, I do not like this team at all. It's a hazard stack team that is really, really bad at it. Like...
Yeah. Well, no, the hazard stack is good.
It gets them up, it keeps them up, and it doesn't win the war.
Yes, exactly. It's exactly the whole point of a hazard stack team is that you play the advantage that having a crap load of hazards gives you. This team is really, really bad at keeping that advantage.
Particularly because nobody wants to take a knockoff here either.
Exactly.
Your Mega is frail as
Exactly.
balls. Your primary defensive tanks are either love their boots or weak to dark. And your
Yes,
dark
exactly.
switch-ins are the King Gambit and the Hitmontop, who needs snacks.
I
Yes,
mean,
exactly.
realistically, the Hitmontop is coming to most games
It
because it has
probably
to.
is.
So it's probably going to take the knocks, and it takes knock well, and it doesn't need its item, but it's like I said in my comment, this is the world's most relied upon
This is
Hitmontop.
the busiest
It,
Hitmontop
Yes.
ever.
It is somehow like the entire purpose of the team is winning the hazard war. There's literally only one breaker here, unless we're giving a lot. Okay, well, there's 2.5 if we're counting Goldango as half, and then it would be Chatot and Runagos.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Shout
the
out and
entire
Ruin Gross. They
okay,
function.
true, but I don't respect. I don't generally like non-Terra King Gambit, but fair enough.
I assume Gambit is here for default punching.
Oh yes,
Fair
Like
enough.
absolutely.
you have the spin and you have the I mean, some defocers can beat gold, which is why you have Gambit to punish it with the Defiant.
Yeah, that's fair. It's what kind of
Because-
begs the question though of everything that S said, which was that it's gonna get hazards up and then between not taking knockoff very well because it's just gonna chip your spinner like really really hard and also just having said spinner not be good at beating any ghost ever. It's just going to be like really really bad at winning the hazard war every time.
Yeah, I like. Not every team has good hazards. So, like against some teams, you will probably be fine, but it is still unfortunate that like you almost need to go mono boots, and as said a few times, you not many mons here want to take the knockoff because they already boots, and you lose the hazard war, and then you just get ravaged by hazard. Especially on a team with Registeel and Chatot, who both really wants
They
speed
really want
support
rocks
or drive
gone.
removal.
They want rocks gone so bad.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
So now it
Registeel
becomes a
less so if
question
it's heavy
of
boots, but
how well do you think this team can win a game before its hazard problem comes to light? Which Chatot and Rude Gross kind of do, and then there's also webs. Like, what? Why are there webs here? I get it, but I also they had to put more.
I mean, even when you say that, there are like a few really good strong breakers, but there's also like half the team is like a super bulky core for playing the long game, which this
Yeah.
team does not like.
Yes, it
Unless
is.
you manage to never lose your boots on like Registeel, Slowbro,
Yeah.
Clodsire, then
Yeah.
you can actually play it. But then who's taking the knockoffs? And that's Hitmontop, and then etc. You just go in motions of like,
Yeah.
why is everything fall to Hitmontop?
Yeah, Rage, you mentioned this is world's
Yeah.
busiest Hitmontop. I think this is world's busiest
I-
Slowbro. Because Slowbro is
I-
both the good physical tank to like partner with Registeel and Clodsire, and then it tries to teleport into the big goobers. It's the
It
one
was
pivot
definitely
guy.
Slowbro, but yes, you're right.
No, I said Hitmontop, but yeah.
Yeah, the Hitmontop is busy, and the Slowbro is
Yeah.
busier. And
I
Yes.
don't mind Slowbro because that is Slowbro's job.
this is
he's
true.
just,
like,
Slowbro's
is-
meant to be busy. But of this top 8, which 2 do you leave at home any given week?
You
Yeah.
unironically can just never kill anything, or can just never kill anything if they have like a reasonably decent Runagos check, and you have to leave chat on at home. Like you can just never kill anything. It's which, like, to be fair, said reasonably decent Runagos check doesn't really exist, but like it still stands.
Yeah, those
to
aren't
reason
really
that,
things. Also, Mr. Sticky Web himself, so we're probably gonna have to figure
Yeah.
something else out.
Yeah,
And there's
it's just
another
a
problem is webs slightly help, but this is some of the fakest speed I've ever seen.
True.
Yeah,
This is Sticky Web speed right here.
Or specifically, it's because of like Ribombi often. I mean, it probably might be with Terra. It's probably going to be quivered on some weeks, but it also like if it's the Weber, it's dying quickly most likely, and Chatot is not being able to come in very much because it's going to get ravaged by rocks. So
yeah.
your fastest mon in a lot of games might end up being like Scarf Golden Go or just regular Golden Go, which is like yikes.
Yeah, I can't lie. I think this team's kind of terrible. Like I don't like saying that.
And now
I think this
even
team's
more,
pretty bad.
even more when we go to the next part.
Oh,
in the
yes.
next
Yeah.
fight,
The
though.
ground problem.
Yeah, your ground resistance is a chat on a bulky team. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah. Like, the entire defensive core, besides Slowbro, is weak to ground.
It's
So, like,
based on how we're talking, I don't think any of us have any problem putting this in Brazil, because this just seems like
No.
this is going to me.
Once
Yeah.
once I find the logo,
it's
I will put it in Brazil, which makes me very sad.
I,
But,
I,
yes.
I've obviously been in or like seen Sohan a few through divs. I know now that he just drafts weird, so like this might perform fine, but it is still like, yeah, this team tries to do things and then fails horribly.
Yes, yes, it is the best team I've ever seen at doing absolutely nothing it wants to do.
Peak explanation. Let's move on to the Gaze 3, which one of the team names of our time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also one of the teams, because we've got Mega Stunfisk, Fast Priority Guys, the Yuxi, more Priority Guys, a Snow Core?
I mean,
Bulu?
realistically, that was just Wailord's good, and they needed to cover the cringe or the delta. And I guess Sandslash is here because Sandslash is the other removal if Scissor can't do it. Because
And,
Scissor,
Snow Abuser.
Wailord, actually no, Wailord's actually decent removal.
Yeah, Wailord is decent removal. Sandslash is here for like backdoor snow abuse. Copium.
Yeah.
This team runs through Yuxi. Once Yuxi goes down, this team is like balls to the wall. What are we doing?
At
I
least
can take some lead on this as well, because this is much more my style than it is both of yours. To be fair, Ash, you are right that the only defensive pivot on this team is Yuxi, but that's also kind of the point. It's just balls to the wall, hyper offense, trade favorably until you eventually win 2-0. Like, that's how most of these games are going to go.
Pretty much.
It's just like spamming U-turn until you get in your Stunfisk, and then probably click Volt and kill something, and then do that until either try from Stunfisk or like Jet Punch Palafin, or just a standard Rewild can end the game.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is unironically hyper offensive pivot spam into everything, getting into priority range and killing it that way. I will mention the fact that there is a very niche but weird anti-synergy with that plan being the fact that there's grassy terrain on this team, but it will hopefully be workable.
Yeah, there is some downside as this team would have loved spikes. I don't count Sandslash.
100%. 100%.
As we've said, like Yuxi has to do a lot of roles here. It's gonna be the only and main rocker in most games. Stunfisk a fine rocker, but you don't really want to rock with Stunfisk.
Yes. Yeah, but
and it's also like the only fat pivot in most games, assuming Scissors are gonna be like offensive. So that means a lot will be done for Yuxi, and I like Yuxi, but it's gonna die very quickly without being able to do all that it wants to.
Yeah, like there is a fair amount of stuff here that can kind of LARP as like pseudo defensive stuff if it needs to. Like AD Palafin is a very real set. Helmet Scissor can work into certain mons. I think Fisk can take 1 or 2 hits, even though that's not necessarily what this team wants it to do.
To be fair, Fisk, that is very true that Fisk is just naturally gonna be able to tank. It never dies in 1, and it often takes 2 hits from it.
Yeah, exactly. So it is definitely workable, and it is like basically Palm's just committing to HO. Like that's basically what this is. I really hope the Bulu doesn't screw it up too hard, because truthfully, if this team's goal was getting everything in priority range, grassy terrain just generally seems like a bad idea. But
I assume it is also partly here because removes a or a Stunfisk weakness, and also like decent for like Moth, and it can help it can help like Palafin and Scissor who are like naturally decently tanky, but I also agree that it might be more negative than positive in a few weeks.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and maybe he's just here to click bonk. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fire problems.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
does it really matter when 3 of the mons are the Whaler, the Sandslash, and the Terrabulu?
Yeah. Also, offensive fire types are just literally never doing anything while Palafin exists.
Fair. Until they pass these hoes and kill you with energy ball.
Well, or more like until they wisp it.
Also
Yeah.
that.
True. True.
Because
But
Palafin
to be
is your fire switching. So
Yeah, it's either that
I
or
mean-
Iron Moth, depending on if it's a special fire. But yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Anyway, we need to put
Okay.
this in a place.
I think this team is at least like quote unquote good. It's still flawed, so I think I'd put it behind either on one side of Ben's team. I think.
I like it.
Honestly,
kinda.
this does make me feel like I kind of want to put this in should and also Ben's in should.
Yeah, I agree. I think the quality of the teams is a bit lower than we expected, so I think putting both in should is fair enough.
Maybe our standards are too high. We kind of consistently do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on. DJ Cold.
Yes. Next team,
Oh,
DJ
I
Cold
spoiled
Cut,
it.
the Mega Eevee thing that I keep having to put in separate art for because my prep doc doesn't work.
Yeah, this is.
They were close to all three. It would have been funny.
This is definitely one of the weirdest Sun teams I've seen.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, the whole.
you start off like more standard, like okay, Wake and gouging a little early, but like when you grab Sun, that's fair, and then okay, Crobat, I guess that's natural speed. Comfrey with like Super Synth could be fun. You can set it, but like then you see the grass is Sinistra, who couldn't care less about Sun. Then you have a random Kabutops, and then you have like Medicham and Greed, who are just kind of there.
Yeah. I do generally think the quote unquote core of the team is good. Like that top 7 that you mentioned, that was just generally a good Sun core. I do think they maybe took one too many sleeping pills on the last 4 because I don't really know what their thought was necessarily with that. Outside of Greed, it just being 1 point normal type bot, but like it's yeah, the other 3 don't really make much sense.
Because like not that it matters because you probably want strength up in most scenarios, but as far as I remember, Sinistra doesn't even get synthesis.
It doesn't get
It's
synthesis.
strength
I don't even
set.
think it gets weather ball.
I mean, Sinistra, especially non-Terra, usually wants to do a defensive role. So it,
Yeah.
and like stabs usually is enough in most matches either way. I guess
Yeah,
like,
true.
it's not a terrible option to have, but I'm gonna assume the Kabutops is just they wanted a third Delta and it looked interesting. But I'll always be disappointed by Moopool in that it doesn't have. I don't think it has any priority, and it also doesn't have U-turn. It like the only like good thing it has is it has tough cost knockoff,
Yeah, pretty much.
and that's like kind of it.
Pretty much.
Otherwise, like I don't really. Oh wait, no. The removal is Crobat Comfy
Yeah, that's fine.
or Male Crobat, which is. I guess
It's bad,
the
but
hazard
it's
setting
fine.
isn't that good, so like having a defocus remain removal isn't that bad. But
Yeah.
But I do feel like Sun would appreciate either better removal or like maybe slightly worse, but a spinner. But it's not like the end of the world.
Yeah, same. I agree.
Because at least this team doesn't necessarily have the problem of like a few Sun teams where there's limited pivoting because like that's like a well, actually no. Maybe it's not great, but it's not bad. There's like Sandyshock's Crobat Eevee, and that's maybe comfy. Yeah, I've seen worse. What's the type chart?
Yes.
Looking like
Type chart. Nothing super heinous or nonsensical.
ice, and ice when the one resist is a ball
Tearing
that
out
can
of it.
Terra.
Hmm.
It could be well. I guess there's technically also like sometimes Eevee.
Maybe
Oh, right, because this team's water type is Wake. That's what that.
that,
Is.
yeah. And the steel type is Aggron,
Yeah.
who does
Which,
not,
to be
who
fair, it
is
takes ice
probably
hits
not
really
really
well,
a great
but
ice resist because most ices are special, and Aggron doesn't do that.
I mean, it takes before Terra at least. It still takes ice moves really easily.
Yes, it takes ice moves. It does not take the next move.
Yeah.
Yes.
The follow-up. And also, we can make a Mamoswine joke
Yeah, yeah.
because
Yeah.
low-hanging fruit.
It's a fun offensive team. I think this is more might make playoffs as opposed to the other two that we had in there before we moved them up.
Oh yeah, it's
Hey,
definitely not should. I think it's closer to win a game than make playoffs. But I'm happy. I think I'm happy.
I think it's
leaving
better
it
than
there.
Fierce's.
I think that's fair. 'Cause at least it has like a mostly coherent strategy.
Yeah, I agree.
It
I
like
think the top 7 is generally good enough where they'll win a solid amount of games. But
it's
yeah,
like a decent but not overwhelming Sun team.
yeah,
Which is why it's like on the lower end, but still not that low.
yeah, I agree.
Move on.
Alrighty. Next up is Terrain Sneasler.
Yeah, this top 3 has like the weirdest both synergy and anti-synergy at the same time. It's
Exactly.
like Sneasler, obviously you don't need it with terrain, but it's also always a nice bonus, both so you have to prep for it and also just a good option to have in some matchups if like the poison is weak or there's no poison. But Fiend is like the worst one to pair with because Sneasler's a lot of the other times when it's not doing unburden stuff, it's spamming poison with poison touch and dire claw. So that's
Yeah,
kind of like weird. And then you also have Darkanine, which loves not being able to get status, but I guess it doesn't click dragon moves that much, but it is still unfortunate in which like sometimes you do want to click like outrage or Draco.
yeah.
It can be a little bit like weird, but it's less
I-
so. But
Yeah, I had basically the same thoughts. I'm not going to add too much onto what Zeb said. It's the general idea makes sense, but there are downsides to what you chose to do with it. So just be able to play around them, and it'll probably be okay.
Yeah. Sneasler being the only speed is weird.
yeah,
Looks more like weird Trick Room with your setter as Farigiraf.
I mean this is a backdoor trick room, if anything.
Yeah, this is absolutely backdoor Trick Room. There's a Terra Doc on it. It's backdoor Trick Room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is like obviously one of the best priority mounts in Arcanine helps, but it is still a bit weird because it does.
Arcanine doesn't really count as a priority mon because if it's coming into Revenge You with a priority move, it's probably not going to Swords Dance in your face.
Exactly.
I've seen it. I've seen it happen a few times where Darkanine comes into E-Spit stuff and then switches out later and does SDs later in the game.
Fair enough. That's not impossible.
Yeah.
Like this team, and obviously like this team still has a lot of scarce there because like you have Dark and Steve's on the physical side and Medicham and to a lesser extent Gawk on the special side. So this team has breaking and like Feeny, Tingle, and Polion is a decent defensive core until you look at the resist chart.
Which,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tingles be taking them quaking.
And the only ground resist is what?
Serena.
Yeah, it's Serena.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's not
Like,
fantastic.
Like this team might have to Terra Empoleon into flying, which is a weird Terra for it to do. I guess like they have Feeny, so they have a water, but it that does mean like Empoleon they won't have a steel if Empoleon Terra's like a flying type.
Yeah.
And it is just like a weird thing. Like obviously Tingle can take earthquakes and even also earth powers, and you have the best earth power clicker besides Fisk. So it's not like you're unable to do it, but it will always be awkward to fight basically any strong ground type, because you don't.
Yeah.
Tinglu is amazing, but it's also like one of the mods that gets chipped the most in like every game ever, because it
Yeah.
takes many hits and it's not
Also,
healing.
just to give an example, either Lando, if your resists are Serena and Tingle, either Lando clicks ground move, either Lando clicks U-turn, you get chipped down immediately. That interaction happens twice. All of a sudden, you have no ground resist. So it's pretty bad.
Not fantastic.
And like I still like the offensive pieces, and it, or for the most part, besides like the main things like Feeny Sneasler is like awkward, but the power is at least there, but it is still the team is still just an awkward fit.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's also like, if you want to get in your offensive pieces, the only one that does it consistently is like Empoleon, and like sometimes Arena. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of hard switching or sacking, and I don't think this team likes doing that, other than like Tinglu switching into everything again.
Yeah. It's, to be fair, it's pretty good at doing that 3 or 4 times, but when you have to do that for the entire meta, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Just a wee little bit.
So, this team might end up in a scenario where they want to defog Feeny so that Sneasler can click Dire Claw.
True.
Weirdly, yeah.
Where do we rank this team?
Yeah. This is blue. Yes.
Yes.
I think the offensive pieces would have it in might make playoffs, but the defensive liabilities put it somewhere around fierce, maybe.
Yeah, it's like it's either like top of win or bottom of make. It's might either way. I'm happy to put it there for now, and then if we see more teams we think this is better, then we can move it up into like right below DJ.
I just like putting it here because guy with stab earthquake is very common and prevalent. Like everybody does that. Everybody has guy with stab earthquake.
I agree. Like there's so many good grounds. I agree. It's such a horrible liability. There's so many good grounds.
Yeah.
And the speed is still gonna bother me. Anyway. Yeah.
Oh,
speaking of guy with stab earthquake, I guess.
Yeah. So it is very S coded that in our server we jokingly made fun of S for drafting 2 offensive pieces with their first 2 picks, and then they proceeded to draft 4 of the fattest things possible. Yeah, it's a cool team,
and also the Garchomp is going to be the bulky helmets that ever work.
Yes.
Also.
This is also true.
I did draft Garchomp referencing the bulky helmet set.
Yeah.
So I have Chen Pao. Chen Pao is the one guy, and then you figure it out. The one guy who kills people.
Like, to be fair, this is very S-coded in the way of like, even though everything's fat and you can hard stall somebody if you want to, even with the Chen Pao if you want to get really cute. Also, everything has an offensive option that you can just randomly curveball somebody with, which is like exactly you. So it should work.
Yeah, because like aside from Blissey, everyone has like can have decent damage output.
I will calm mind my matchup with you that I don't have.
I know you use it and have done stuff with it. I'm still not respecting Calm Mind Blissey.
This is absolutely reasonable. You should not respect Calm Mind Blissey. You should lose to Calm Mind Blissey, but you should not respect it.
I think
I'm not respecting that in terms of speaking of a team's power.
Fair enough. I will put specs on the Blissey. No.
But
I think honestly the
other thing is like Weezing can like throw off the boom burst. Milo can run like a very offensive Calm Mind set. Even Avalok has a good attack stat. So that means like every part of the team can be run offensive, and then obviously then you have the Pow and the Chomp who like kind of count the team.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I do generally think one of the worst things about this team from like a defensive structure perspective is that the ice resist is unironically the cat. Granted, there are two really fat Terras that can cover that issue up almost entirely, but it is like one of the only defensive problems.
This is true.
Yeah.
The back three guys might kind of just be here, but we'll figure that out.
Yeah, this is probably more of like a. This is still more of a personal nitpick more than a general one. I think Brute Bonds is complete as. I have no idea what it's doing here. I guess it's like one of the cheap bulky darks, but even then it doesn't do that role very well.
I do think honestly if S just replaced the bonnet with a water type, I would have zero complaints with this team. It would be cool.
Like genuinely, as what is the Brute Bond doing here?
Switching into knockoff.
I mean, even then,
does already agree with that?
So
also, yeah, Necro joined.
Hello, Necro.
Yes, hello.
Also, if you want a knockoff switch and that's also way better on your team, just get like Tauros Play Aqua or something. Like, I don't know.
That's fair. Counterpoint, I'm an addict and I need Pokemon with recovery moves.
True.
You have all of them. You can have one without it.
No! I already don't like that Garchomp can't heal.
Yeah, and I do also like there's like a random drill slapped on at the end.
Yep.
But also it honestly fits quite well because your team lacked removal and you have a Davlog, so obviously you're it is the removal and the sand.
Yeah, Davlog was the removal before. Now we just have another
random removal
idiot.
It's another removal so that Davlog can click hazards instead of clicking spin.
Yeah, for sure.
Like now you have like double removal for your POW, which is kind of crucial because POW loves running non-boots items to be able to abuse the power more.
Yeah.
Is there anything? Obviously, you said the ice. Is there anything else type chart wise? You said the ice type thing, which is problematic, but with Terra,
yeah, the type chart's kind of a nightmare. Also, to further make Rage happy, all of these are mostly solved by ditching the Brute Bonnet.
Yeah.
True.
So that guy might go, but we'll see. I want to give him at least a chance.
But, like your fighting resist, are the Ghost Mega Milo, Wheezing, and I guess Roserade, but like, and that fighting is not a problem despite being treated like Fairy type is actually might be more problematic.
I think considering every decent fairy gets access to Psychic, it will be a little bit more problematic, but it's still not like egregious.
But
does every decent fairy get access to move that kills Blissey?
True.
Valiant.
That's what my Lodic is for.
Camera.
Anyway,
it would be Valley, Enam, Contrary stuff would be like the biggest issues, but still not really. Also, it's S, so I struggle to put this any lower than should make playoffs. But
I mean, honestly, this is one of the S teams that also looks like a pretty good standard team.
Yeah.
Like.
No, this is horrible. My team's good. No, my teams aren't supposed to be good.
Outside of the bonnet that's here for no damn reason, I would generally not hate using this team, that's one of the only times I could say that sentence about an S team.
Yeah. It's still overly fat and has like some lacking power, especially like it lacks a bit of power, especially, but it's good enough to like obviously so bulky that it's not as big of a deal.
I think it's either top of should or bottom of will. I think, but
yeah, this might end up being too positive, but I'm honestly happy to put it in shoe-in for now.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Which is weird because usually SS teams going to Brazil.
Shoe in with the asterisk of get this mushroom off the roster.
Yes. If you
Oh, true.
if you agree to get the mushroom off the team, I'm fine with it in shoe.
You just put a black screen over Brute Bonnet, and nothing would change, and it would still be like a.
It would be a better team.
Because I wouldn't have to think about Brute Bonnet.
Yeah.
All right. We'll put it there. We'll come back to it later. Maybe I'll kill the Brute Bonnet after week 1. We'll see what happens. He deserves
Maybe.
a chance.
'Cause, like,
One.
Like, if it was Terra, I could like slightly respect it, but you have two much better Terra caps, so like.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's
Either way,
move
let's
on
move on.
to another person. Also,
Yeah.
the masses may have heard this, but our good host Necrowolves has joined the call. Say hi, Necrowolves.
Hello. I am here. For maximum comedy, I am currently driving back to my apartment from my parents' house, so I am doing this from my car.
Pogging out so hard. Vehicle VC
So if I
at its
forget
finest.
So if I forget about what mons are on the current team we're talking about, it's because I cannot see the rosters.
Let's go.
But why not? Let's make you make it easier for you. We can tell you the months quickly. It's my team, which means Delta Shandy, Lando T, Mega Zeb, Jirachi, Rodom Wash, Delta Golurk, Drogalgi, Superior, Terra Scrap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So the team we have here is the most typical Zeb Strike 'em down structure of all time, which is a bulky pivot core that consists of 3 actual bulky pivots and 1 offensive thing that can be a bulky pivot. And then he has his 1 super fast thing, which HBF is a soon to be said Zebra, and then 2 massive breakers, which on this team are Terra, Golurk, and Shandy. It's a Zeb team, but it's okay with being a Zeb team.
Any comments, says?
Uh,
I usually like for you guys to comment on the team, and then it can get kind of.
this is true. The number of pivots is yes, which I have come to expect from this individual in particular, and most draft league rosters for that matter. Yeah, Shandy and Golurk are kind of the. Oh wait, no, Ned Flanders. I look at Landorus T and never remember what the hell it's gonna do other than click Earthquake and click U-turn.
Yeah.
Which
This
is Zeb Strike 'em down, so the answer is it's gonna click U-turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, by Zeb standards, the breaking on this team is actually quite scary. Like, everything on this team can break to some level of competency, with the exception of, like, Jirachi. But, like, even that can have some offensive things that it does.
We have so much pivoting with mediocre hazards. No Spiker disappoints me. The removal being these 3 defog guys in the middle is a little bit awkward. I don't like the lack of sustain. It works.
Yeah, like out of all my teams, this definitely has some flaw. Or like, it is definitely far from my best HBF team, but as I said, it is just a standard simple type Zeb structure, and I do also still quite like it because it is kind of just like the game plan will just be pivot around with my fat stuff switching in, and then pivot into my Golurk for Shandy, and then Zeb shoot to the end game.
Yeah,
it will probably be like the standard, and I can like switch it up. Like, do I want some weeks I need Fat Lando, some weeks I can run like Save Scarf or like even SD or like Rock Polish Lando, and I do also have like some options to turn it around. But it is still like most games will probably be like fairly standard, just pivoting around, clicking rocks, clicking defog as necessary, and then Zeb will probably clean most games. Because
I do feel like
a
lot of your teams have a tendency of leaning one of 2 ways. They either lean towards me, Necro, and Blinn and have more of an offensive identity, or they lean more towards S and have a defensive identity. This one's definitely more of an offensive identity, but it still has enough of you that you'll probably pilot it competently.
Yeah, and like there is definitely like a part of me that I would have liked a slightly more consistent removal. I think all 3, or mainly Lando and Rodom, are both good removers when they want to, but both of them also like don't always like carry. Like, it's more like I have to carry it more than I want to carry it. But
Yeah.
That almost makes my like slightly awkward, or I could rock with no spiker. That means it's not as big of a deal because I'd probably want to play with I probably want to play with no hazards more than hazards on both sides.
Yeah.
Which is like
That's fair.
fine.
Oh, so speaking of somebody who has mono defog grown and wash a lot more often than anyone should have mono defog grown and wash. I think you could run Volt Switch Hydro Pump status move defog like 70% of weeks, and nobody will really punish you for it.
Oh yeah,
So-
I did that. I've done that multiple times where Rotom is my only defogger, and
Yeah.
now it means I have like at least a bit of support, even if most times Rotom will be defogged because it's
Yeah.
it has less things to do than Lando wants to, so it's probably
Yeah.
usually a better defogger.
I think having the Rotom as the primary defogger is completely fine, especially when Serp and Lando are two defoggers that can do it, even if they don't always want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Type chart wise, 5 ground
Well, you know-
weaknesses.
Oh yeah, this
Wow.
is the team is either resistant or weak to ground.
Or
The
Scrappy,
only
Yeah.
one neutral is the Scrafty.
who
Also,
is
speaking of
now
which, shout out Terrence
contractually
Crafty. I
obligated
love
to
that guy.
Terra into types that are not neutral to ground.
Yeah, obviously, like it is gonna be awkward because it means like my ground will either like beat everything or lose everything. But at least I have 2 very good immunities in Lando Rotom, so it's not as bad as it looks. But it can still be awkward. Because,
Yeah.
like, a lot of weeks my team might have 4 ground weakness and and 2 immunities, which is like it's fine, but also just kind of awkward to play around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I do
I'm
think that
curious-
middle
Gotta put it
column
somewhere.
being just ground FUs basically are just I think it's fine enough.
Yeah, I'm curious where you guys rank this.
I think it's behind yours, us maybe. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Mm,
See, I
Depends
think it's
on
either
your
in,
how. I think this team's viability will depend on how able it is to not have the game go long.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's more of a 35 turn Zeb team as opposed to a 50 turn Zeb team, which that has its drawbacks, but I think it's either above Ben or below yours, one of the two.
Yeah,
I'm happy with it. I kind of agree that it's. I definitely think it is better than Ben's, but I'm also think it might be fair to have it in make.
Yeah.
Shoot, in
I
Philly.
definitely agree that it's better than Ben's.
I would
I'm
agree as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
struggling
I
to
agree.
see how you, because this team is gonna lose if the game goes fast. It's gonna lose if the game goes long. It really wants to get in that middle space.
Yeah, it would really like the game to be between 25 and 40 turns. If it's less than that or more than that, it's going to have a hard time. Which, to be fair, 25 to 40 turns is like the most common range.
It's
for
extremely
Pokemon games to
common,
end
which
in
is why I
public,
think
so.
this team is great. But I can point out problems and things that people can exploit going in either direction, trying to be either significantly faster than it or significantly slower than it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do like it at
Yeah.
top of should though, because it really should make playoffs. This is a good solid roster. It just
Yeah,
doesn't last.
Let's move
I
on.
agree. Also, said good solid rosters seem to be few and far in between right now. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Chat GPT.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yep.
The team is Mega Delta Gallade, Delta Vesperquin, Delta Milo, Delta Aurorus, Delta Sceptile, Donphan, Togekiss, Terra Delta Venu, Audino, Terra Rampardos.
The Terra
The John
Rampardos
Paul Classic.
expected to do 10 million things.
Yeah, I mean, kind of the first thing I noticed is that Specs Overheat just unironically one-shots this entire team.
Yeah,
But,
the fire resists are the known hit takers, Delta Sceptile and Rampardos.
Yeah.
I see. So,
And oh, you first.
so basically, any fire type that can break through Delta Milo is going absolutely ham.
Yes, pretty much.
And the neutral hit taking is good, but I wouldn't say great. Besides the Milo, because Auroras and Vespuquin both kind of, or especially Vespuquin lives by the resistances more than like neutral bulk, more than the bulk, and Auroras can take with the healing. It can like it has good bulk, but it's still far from the best.
Yeah.
So I feel like this team is probably forced into like Terra Water Venu in most games, or like Terra Dragon or Water Venu.
Yeah.
For the Delta, yeah, and I love Delta Venu. I think it's definitely very good, and like it can run like a Terra Water Dragon AV set pretty well. But as we've seen with like other teams, it's never nice for the Terra to be forced into
Exactly.
like certain types in like matchups.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree.
And I also just see this team, and if I just hover over Gallade, I don't really see any breaking power at all.
Yeah, it feels really passive.
Yeah, which is weird for John Paul. He doesn't usually draft like this, but he definitely did draft a whole lot of power.
Because like, I feel like he saw just a bunch of good deltas and then snapped them up, and then he realized his team didn't have much power, but it was kind of already too late, so he had to use the rest to like plug holes instead of like
so then he got noted powerhouse Don Fan.
I mean, obviously he needed a spinner because he has a Glade.
True.
Or he doesn't need a spinner, but like Donphan is like still a functional spinner.
It's usable in comparison to the Audino and the Rampardos, but like yeah.
Also, as for context on the Rampardos, he did in a little while ago get a I think it was a Terra Rampardos, at least it was a Rampardos. He did get that to kill leader in a pretty decent league, which is commendable, but it's also like you don't actually want to rely on that, even if you have done well within in the past.
Right. And it is funny though.
It is very funny.
And like, as also said, like, it's both the teams are both a little passive, and the power and the bulk is good, but I wouldn't like. I don't look at this, and I don't think this is a nightmare to break through.
Yeah,
it's definitely hard.
Knockoff plus Hazard kind of the solos.
There are a lot of good bulk, and like it's still gonna be an easy game. But I wouldn't. I'm not looking at this team and just like being like super scared about like I'm never breaking this, because there's a lot of decent bulk, but not a lot of like elite bulk.
Yeah, and also even if we were more scared of the bulk, there's enough functional issues, both being the fire issue and the knockoff plus hazard issue that that was mentioned, that it's just like it's never going to be a truly terrifying team to deal with. Like Blade's good, but it's certainly not like broken. Well, it's not broken enough to carry the entire team's breaking on its back, especially with only Donphan's better.
Besides fire, is there any other like big weaknesses this team has?
What is the fire weakness? America, explain. Please explain the fire. Oh, is it just lack of resists?
Yeah, yeah, they're not weak to fire per se, but they don't resist it.
That's fair. I can give you that. Also, who's the toxic switching?
Good question.
The Vespuquin is the toxic switching.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy. I forgot he was here. I always forget Delta Vespuquin is here.
Oh wait, yeah, this team like hard loses to T-spikes.
It does very much lose the T-spikes. Yeah,
sometimes it just be like that, you know?
Because like like Terra Poison is another good Terra on Venusaur, but it's also like it already wants to be Terra Water, so it can't be Poison.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what the Togekiss is doing here. I guess it's like a supplementary ground resist and like a fairy for when being Terras, but I still don't really know what is here.
Yeah.
It's the other
I feel like-
removal option, Smile.
I mean, that's not fun.
Yeah, the other removal option.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Togekiss.
sure. Togekiss is a fine. Like, I think it's a fine mon. I just don't see why it's here. I think that could have been better spent point on either a breaker, a poison, or like a fire to resist. Any of those things could have been done better with Togekiss slot. And then all
Yeah.
you know is just here as like the. I guess it's just the ghost immunity, and that's all it does.
I was gonna say, I don't think I heard another ghost resist. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, that also is kind of
It is-
problematic.
Oh yeah, they just straight up don't have a dark type.
Yeah.
there's no dark. Yeah. So like the
Straight up
odd
don't have
no,
a-
the entire reason of the odd no is to be the ghost resist.
Also, basically, any store power psychic type just absolutely obliterates this team.
Oh, that is what the Togekiss is here for. It's the dark resist. That's why it's here.
That also
Oh,
makes sense. But yeah, but seriously, look at the store. Like, look at any Combine stored power set. It just obliterates this team.
But that it's also problematic to have Togekiss as the dark switch in when the dark has a very famously good move called a knockoff that Togekiss does not like.
Ah,
yeah.
yes.
And the rest of the team also does not like.
Does this mean you need Terra Venu as well?
Oh no. It needs as one fairy poison water Terra type.
Yeah.
It somehow has to be all three of the best defensive types in the game at once. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely the
Heck yeah.
recipe for a good team.
Where do we rank this team?
I think it's pretty. It's not Brazil, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah, there are still again, there's a bunch of good mons on it, and I can still see games like if you don't face a good fire type that the core can kind of like bulk through, but it's not. Yeah, it's not higher than might win a game.
I think
is it
it's-
higher than.
I think it's better than Fierce. Not sure if it's better than Bloop.
Yeah, I'm happy to put it like middle of those. Yeah, I think that's fine.
It's just
Yeah.
so
That's
mediocre,
reasonable to
and
me,
it feels
with no
like it's
context.
yeah, it feels like it's trying to be regen spam and not
It's really bad at it.
missing the point of the regen spam, which is the thing. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
next, ignore the fact that my computer kind of screwed that up. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
hello, Commissioner,
Oh, no.
Mr. Egg Schmimpt.
Yeah.
What's the team?
Dragapult, Delta Regice, Mega Delta Bisharp, Terra Delta Greninja, Delta Muck, Iron Crown, Delta Mismag, and Rotom Fan.
Okay.
I feel like I always look at Egg's team and I don't know what's going on.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know the Delta's stats amazingly well. Even still, I
It's
believe-
exact
The
same.
same as base form.
Delta,
I believe the highest primary attack stat, meaning whatever their highest attack stat that any mon uses here, is the crown at 128, and then I don't think anything else goes over
I
121.
think Bisharp's like 1.
Bisharp is 145.
Okay,
45.
it's a bit stronger than fair, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I think the team has. I still think the team actually has, unlike the comments, it has decent power. Not great, but I still call it decent. But the problem is, I'm not sure it has the bulk to stand up to it, or like to make up for it. Like, you
Yeah.
have the Regice, great one, and like Muck is also good, but like weirdly Regis and Muck, besides obviously like electrics, they can often like take on similar stuff. With more of like water immunities and like Muck has other immunities like ice and grass. Or in this team,
I
it
do
probably
think
has
this-
grass more often than not.
Yeah, I do think this team's going to use AV Iron Crown a lot more than you want to use an AV Iron Crown, but like it does seem like they need the kind of piece to kind of be able to get everything together.
Yeah, like another problem here is It's not terrible, but like every pivot option he has is fast. So like he
True.
always has to like. Or there are going to be points where he has one of his offensive ones out. He's forced out into Register Muck, and then he's just kind of stuck there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Like, but Register Muck, that is two good defensive mons, but both can also be kind of passive, and both are like definitely. There are a lot of mons that can't take advantage of either.
Yeah.
I mean, Muck, if Egg loves bringing regurgitation Muck, so like Muck actually can be like decently good at forcing
Oh, true.
progress.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah,
like-
I have forgotten, and Egg has gone on and on about regurgitation, which is like fair. It is definitely underappreciated. It's just like because how good
the chip
because of
damage
how
is,
good
yeah.
how good the immunities feel, meaning regurgitation gets useless because like you feel like, oh, it's a ground type, you can choose to be immune to either water or grass. Feels amazing.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Wait.
How do people feel about Terra Delta Grant?
I don't know. I'm more intrigued.
I
For
am
some
skeptical.
because for some reason we had it banned. I have no idea why.
Yeah, so
And
yeah, we
so-
allowed it. I'm not sure if it's actually going to be good or not.
I think the good point is that it can be a better offensive one because it can go like Terra Blast, like
Getting the
Ground.
coverage good for it, yeah, is like I think
It's
the
like-
main angle I can see for it.
because now it can hit like Terra Ground for opposing fires or like Terra Fairy for dragons, which usually it's strong to hit beforehand, or it can go like a good defensive Terra to be like a good like Spiker and pivot spam. And
Yeah,
it's just not like always forced into boots.
yeah. I'm not sure if it'll be worth the cost. I'm definitely interested to see how it performs.
Yeah. One major problem I see with this team, what's the removal?
Rotom
Is it
Fan.
the Mega Delta Bisharp?
And the Bisharp, yes.
It's
It's Rotom Fan
and
Bisharp.
Negative
That's not
Bisharp,
great.
which is yikes.
That's not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Also, that when two of your best walls don't really want to run boots, and by virtue of that are very spike weak, that's definitely a problem.
Yeah. At least a positive is that Mega Bishop is one of the best knock switches in the game. So at least he has as opposed to other teams which are kind of hazard weak, he has the good knockoff switching to allow Rajas and Mech to run boots. But it is still a problem into a team like again, this team kind of wants to run mono boots, and then you face a knockoff, and if there's a knockoff mon that beats Bisharp, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Again, Overquill's also a good knockoff switching, but it's again like Overquill also doesn't like hazards. It's not going to be around for long. I don't know what it is with X drafting. I don't see where the game plan is. I don't see like there again a section of good mons, a decent bulk line, some decent offensive mons, but like, what is the end game? Is it like Regi's book? Is it like outstalling with those? Is it Bisharp sweeping? Is it Paul sweeping? I don't know, and I don't know if Egg knows either.
Yeah, it's kind
100%,
of like
yeah.
the jack of all trades, master of none kind of team. Where it's like it does a lot of things decently, but there's not like a super clear like it wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree.
Anything type wise,
Is that mostly fine by the looks of it?
It should be mostly fine. There's like the ices, but that's not too big.
ISIS.
ICES.
Yes, I know. I said I that's what I said.
Yes.
But like
We
But
are
there
speaking
certain
words.
individuals running around with certain ice types that might make that difficult.
Yes, a couple of bugs, a couple of walruses. Palm having 3 of them.
Yes, the incredible comedy. Anyway,
there's
continue.
nothing like super. There's not like a huge issue. Like, to be fair, it is kind of what Necro said. This team is decent in most regards, but there's no one outstanding quality. It's just kind of like it's just kind
Yeah, I
of mid, mid
Yeah.
across the board.
That's fair.
Where do we want to rank it? I don't think this is bad. So
It's probably
I
It's
can
not bad though. It's just good.
I think it's.
I guess
I think it's.
I guess mid is like might make playoffs.
I think it's. I think it's either top of might or bottom of should below palm would be my
I
slot for
don't
it.
think it's. I think it's. I don't think it should go to that level. I think it's fine there, like where you put it.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. I think it's like I think it's still worse than the Sun team. So I still
Fair.
put it below DJ Cole because that has a very distinct game plan. This one, like, kind of, but not really.
That's fair.
But yeah, let's move on.
Yes. Here comes. So I heard you like Backdoor Trick Room.
Yeah, I don't even know if this can be called backdoor because it's.
It probably isn't. It's just Trick Room is a
I think
thing
the
it can
team-
do, and it will probably be fine without it.
Yeah, I truthfully think this looks like one of the most fun teams to pilot that I looked at. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, because there are definitely some issues. But like in general, Flygon, Zapdos, Lycandusk, out of Trick Room, Blood Moon.
Oh yeah,
Iggy
we
Melmetal
should
is-
say the team: Mega Flygon, Zapdos, Melmetal, Ursaluna Blood Moon, Hatterene, Terra Delta Lilligant Water, Lycandusk, Delta Tangela, and Terra Chestnut.
Okay, so this is Gus.
Yes. So the Trick Room
Okay.
core is obviously Melmetal, Hatterene, Ursa, which is a. Well, actually, I'd say like one of the best Trick Room cores to have because all three, like, perfectly fine outside of Trick Room, especially
I agree.
Melmoon, Blood Moon monsters in Trick Room. So like you kind of don't know if you'll face Trick Room or not, which is like almost
Yeah.
that is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a very solid team with not a ton of outright issues. So I generally like this team.
I do still have a couple big flaws. For one, when your Steel and Ground are Melmetal and Blood Moon, it means that they don't do the hazarding, and that's like two big bulky like point sinks or like or a point. It's not, that's expensive. So that means all the hazards are like lower tier options who you probably are not bringing to most games, being Lycandusk, Tangela, and Chestnut.
I think to be fair, there are certain matchups where Flygon can click rocks. It's not always click you want to click, but it can. It's not a click that you want to click, but it can.
Wait, the Mega Flygon clicking rocks? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think that's already a tough thing to click on the like armor Flygon, but with Terra or Mega Flygon, it's like technically it has it, but it's like there are so many moves Flygon likes having that I don't see why you'd ever drop one of them for rocks.
Exactly.
It's the most rock weak team of all time, and you somehow aren't able to bring one of Flygon, Rock, and Tangela. And if that's the case, then like sure, but those scenarios are like so few and far between.
I mean, to be fair, the Hatterene does kind of dare both teams to play without hazards. I think is part of the idea, but like, yeah.
To an extent, but Hatterene does struggle to both be like anti-hazard and a Trick Room setter at the same time.
Yeah, that's fair.
It can do it to an extent, but I guess this is like where if you're like if Hatterene needs to be the main like anti-hazard guy, it might not be, or it might be like only like soft Trick Room where you don't like have Trick Room and like build the entire game plan around it.
Yeah.
Like I know also like the removal part. There's also the Zapdos, which can run decently fine, and I feel like this seems.
And Zapdos is a good removal on.
Yeah,
I do
the
think
removal's
between
fine, like,
Zapdos and
at least-
Hatterene, it's fine. I think
Yeah.
between Zapdos and Hatterene, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, the removal is like the subpar hazards are helped by good removal, so it's not like the end of the world, but it's
Yeah.
again just one of those where if you could have gotten like slightly better mons at the bottom that can click remove or like that can click hazards, it would have been appreciated. But it's like I can see why they didn't, because obviously they just went to like hard on like Melmetal Blood Moon to like go for the Trick Room mode, which makes sense. And the good thing about that is like I'd say still I'd call this a fairly offensive team, but because of like Mel Blood Moon, it also has the bulk to back it up.
Yeah.
Blood Moon is underrated as a defensive mon. Like, it's actually pretty good at walling things, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because it has 100, 114 physical bulk, and the special bulk is fine if you invest it.
Yeah, and it has access to Calm Mind to boost on the special spit up side as well. So,
yeah. The comment I made on this team was that it has a lot of good modes, and that's just kind of going to what y'all are saying, where every mon here, with the exception of Flygon, can do like 5 things. So having that ability means you have a lot of ways to make game plans if you need to.
Yeah. Is there and also like for semi Trick Room team, they also have the speed for Flygon and Lycanroc. The main problem is that I'm not sure. I guess Lycanroc's like a fine. Lycanroc is a fine Scarfer, but there are moments where you might find yourself at like you're kind of struggling to revenge because that is like the one problem is Hatteren's the only Trick Room on.
Yeah.
Right. Like if Hatteren goes down, I mean you can't like quote unquote revenge with flipping his speed. That means it can struggle, but it's not the end of the world. Because this team has bulk to like just trade instead of like revenging.
Yeah, I do agree that last slot where the Chestnut is probably should have been one more Trick Room setter, probably, but it's fine.
What are the weaknesses looking like?
Ice types. Yes.
Let's go!
I mean, there is a Melmetal, which is a very good resist.
This is true. The resists are Melmetal and Lilligant Water.
Also, two have said ice weaknesses are the bottom 2 mons, so it's really 3 versus 2, kinda.
That's fair.
Okay.
And the 3 are like Mega Flygon, Zapdos, Blood Moon. I don't know. Delta Tangela and Chestnut are real Pokemon. Chestnut's probably going to tear out of it sometimes, and Tangela's real. That's all I know.
Yeah, like it is like the meme thing you say, but every team this team does lose to Mamoswine, but it's like all the ice resist both weak to ground, but it's like worst case you have like Terra option with Chestnut. That's not the end of the world.
Not the end of the world.
I don't think there are any other problems type-wise.
There really were not.
Yeah, where do we rank this team? I guess our Dark is... Oh, wait, no, wait. No Dark Resist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it straight up doesn't have one at all? Yeah, I guess you didn't say anything as a dark type or fairy type.
Chestnut's a dark resist. That's not the worst.
Yeah,
that is a problem. That is actually a fairly big problem. Chestnut a decent one, but there are a lot of good dark types. This team has good neutral bulks. Like Blood Moon Melm can tango with a lot of darks, but not for long. So if you get put like a little bit on the back foot against like
you
imagine if Darkrai gets a nasty blood up, what does this team do? I know Darkrai's not allowed, but like if it were, as an example, what does this team do?
They just lose.
Like
Pretty
you
much,
might
yeah.
need to run Theme Flygon more than you'd think.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Because
That is fair.
honestly, on this team, I feel like you could have appreciated. I think Terra Lilligant is a fun idea. But I do feel like Terra Hatterin might have been the better way to go about it. Because Hatterin does a
Possibly,
lot
yeah.
for this team, and like being able to like switch types on the fly with it would be nice. But where do we rank it?
Honestly, I have no idea.
I have no idea. It seems pretty good or something.
I'm happy with should make playoffs.
I kind of just
Alright,
want to put
makes
it.
sense reasonable to me.
I think it might be like a little bit better than Palms. Like around there makes sense.
That's fair.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up, Coco Valiant. We love pain.
Oh yeah, it's Noah.
Yeah, so
Iron Valiant, Tapu Koko, Iron Bundle. I don't know the. Oh no, I do know the last time I saw all three, but you very rarely see all three. Then you have Megadon Fan, Terra Mandibus, Bronzong, Delta Tentacruel, Terra Circuitry, and Delta Lantern.
So
So-
I assume a few of you might have seen this calc, but the bulkiest grass type in the Insurgents format would be Lax. It's 160 HP, 110 special defense. If you take Terra Electric, modest choice specs, rising voltage into the aforementioned max special defense Lax, how much is it taking?
54.
It somehow takes min 51.8. So ridiculous.
Oh, to be fair,
Circuitry is terrifying, yeah.
To be fair, Circuitry is like checked by grounds either way. So like, but that does mean Circuitry now goes from not always like struggling a little bit with resists to just downright beating them.
Yes.
Which is, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And even then, Terra Grass and Fairy are going to be so common in terms of
true.
beating grounds. So
yeah,
True, yeah.
like, obviously the main thing is obviously always going to be the top three. That will probably show up every game, and that will be a big massive problem with Valiant and Bundle. I assume most of the time having a speed boost, so like you're never outspeeding them, and that's going to be a problem. Or if they get like also if they get the power boost.
Yeah, I've heard some rumblings just in like the non-insurgents format of that top three feeling kind of fraudulent to pilot. So when you have it on a team like this, that's in general really, really good and sound. It'll be interesting to see how it performs. I think it'll do well probably, but it'll be interesting.
And because you do have, like, obviously with the top three, you need a lot of cover for it. But I do think this team mostly covers it well with like Donphan, Mandy, Song, Tentacruel all being like pretty good like defensive pieces, and Donphan can also go offensive. And then you have like just one like really big dedicated breaker and circuitry to go along with Bundle and Valiant, often feeling more like cleaners than breakers. And then I guess Lantern's just kind of there because it's a fun delta.
Yeah, I do think circuitry helps the top three a lot just because of the aforementioned breaking issue. I think Valiant and Terrain's a much better breaker than Bundle is, but like they're both kind of meh at it compared to Zerk. So yeah.
Yeah. That does obviously mean, especially because I mean, on this team maybe not, but generally I feel like Valiant prefers special to physical. On this team, it might be in physical, but other like the only real physical threat is a Donphan. Very good one, Mega Donphan. It is a good physical mon, but it is slightly limiting. Like in a team that if you face a team who has more special bulk, you might struggle. But that is when Valiant comes in and goes physical, and then you don't struggle anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. And like, to be fair, even most of the like bad things that we say are mostly just nitpicks. This team's really good. Like,
yeah. There is
Is
still
that solid
one.
there?
Never mind. I was about to say the hazards, but actually no, it's fine. I forgot Donphan can set rocks and Tenta has spikes, so it's
yeah,
Like
it's
Fantastic
Yeah.
Spike,
reasonably fine. It's reasonably fine.
yeah. And surprise, surprise, this is the best speed in for
Oh yeah.
like the one thing is because this is Insurgents, there's a very big possibility of Trick Room being flipped on like flipping the speed, which means is in counter, which this is where the kind of slow Megadon fan and you might actually see Trick Room Bronze Song being used defensively a decent bit instead of like offensive. Because this
Yeah,
team just
just
kind of just
get
lose
rid of the
to-
effect. Yeah, it's possible for sure.
But this
Or
team
the
can't have
lantern.
like
Nah, it's fine. They're gonna backdoor Trick Room with the Dawn fan.
Oh, sure. I mean that also works. Then
Who cares that everyone else hates its guts?
Yeah. I'm honestly like, I'm not 100% sure yet, but this is like the closest one to achieving perfection that I think we've seen so far. I think.
What do we? Is there like a big flaw type wise? Because the top three obviously will bring some problems. How's the type?
Reasonably
Pretty
fine?
good.
What's the
Reasonably
fire? Oh, the
fine?
fire is weird.
I was gonna say I was initially wondering like why is there a Delta Lantern on this team, and then I thought
Because it's
about it.
the
It's like,
only fire
wait,
resist.
is the Delta Lantern like the fighting and fire resist?
Because it's the only fire resist. Although, mind you, if they go heat proof Bronzong, the only actual fire weakness here is the tentacle.
Yeah.
Yes,
This is again,
counterpoint.
like,
you
we
need to go
It's
heat proof
the
Bronzong
exact
for
same as the
that.
John Paul team, yeah. It's the exact same as the John Paul team, yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the problem. I think this team performs better because John Paul's just like a fairly defensive team. This team is not a defensive team. It has good bulk, but it's not a defensive team. So like,
It's basically HO plus a mana buzz. Like, really?
Yeah. It's just gonna run through the Mandibuzz.
yeah.
So we gotta put it in a
So basically,
place.
no one knows
I'm
what team
happy
I
Go
would
into
build.
defection, but if we put it next to S's, I think that's also fine.
yeah, I don't think we should put in. I think unless we find a team that we really love, I think we should put it there for now and then wait until the end to pick our perfection team.
Fair.
Seems reasonable to me. Yeah.
That's fair. Hey, it's the Necrolf roster. We don't have to describe this one mon for mon.
You do not have to read the roster for this one. I would hope I know my own team.
Yeah.
It's fine. I've already forgotten half of
Yeah.
mine, so I wouldn't put it past you. Anyway, double weather. Intriguing gameplay. And there's also
Yeah.
a Nidoking here for show reasons.
Reasons.
Yeah, this is one of the. Honestly, like, probably this is probably a good thing. This is one of the weirder darkness teams I've seen, but it's probably that means this team is not reliant on darkness as a lot of darkness teams are. Obviously, still,
Yeah.
it's mainly Typh that needs it, but otherwise, you can't just bring. Typh is still workable without darkness or without darkness. You just bring your top 6, and it's you prefer Spirit Tomb. Sure,
Yeah,
you don't have to.
it's yeah. The top 6 minus Typh is pretty darkness independent, and then he just shoved a darkness core on as like the last handful of months. So
I see we're trying to
Darkness
make
was always-
Honeclaw's darkness work.
yeah, that is his intended purpose, I believe.
Yes, that is indeed the entire point.
Yeah, like darkness was always the plan, but obviously when Necro took Typh, that meant he didn't have to draft for or like he didn't have to think about getting darkness until late, because if you don't get Typh, I don't see the point in trying darkness, unless it's like a very minor core of a team. But here it's like
Yeah,
darkness is the main mode, but it's also very easy to not bring it, which I think for darkness is a good thing.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because darkness is, I always think it has a potential, but I generally don't know if I've seen like a a full darkness team ever do that well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, probably it had it probably has happened, and I haven't seen it. But as far as I can remember, I don't remember seeing darkness ever do as well as Insurgents Reign. Which obviously it has better months, but also like it is like the two big Insurgents weather course, and
Yeah.
full Rain is a lot better than full darkness in most scenarios.
Yeah.
Indeed.
As for like the team itself, I think it's like surprisingly balanced for a Necro team in that it has obviously two main bulky pivots in like soaking core that most thing goes through. There's both breaking on the special side with like Grind and Typh. There's physical with mainly Scyther. Scyther is kind of over worked there, but it's Necro, which means Scyther is coming to every game, and with
Yeah.
Darkness hustle hone class, that also means it's less of a problem compared to like another team. And Delta Electivire can help from time to time, which is also fine.
Yeah, I do think a lot of these teams from our group are kind of proof that time is a flat circle because somehow Zev is drafting more offensive versions of his teams and me and Necro are drafting more defensive versions of our teams. Oh, and also S is drafting more offensive as well. So yeah, it's just everyone.
We need to make like a spectrum.
Yeah.
So this is a thought I had earlier today. I feel like I need to make a spectrum of a line at the top of the screen at all times for just the opinion bases of the offense to defense spectrum for every color on the slideshow.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I think in general the team's fine. My only gripe at all is that you're a bit Scald weak if Slowking ever dies, but that's a big if with a regen mon, so it's pretty much fine.
Oh yeah, wait, I also forgot the most important part of Darkness. Pressure Corviknight.
Yeah, that was a kind of a funny accidental synergy there, but we do take those.
But to be fair, that is actually nice. It's just more like that is not something. Yeah, as you said, that was not planned. It was more like Corv was a good defog U-turner mon left.
Yeah. So fun fact: I was planning on taking the Mandibuzz, literally the pick after Noah took the Mandibuzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume Pressure Corv and Darkness just doubles the effect of pressure, or is it 3?
3 times.
Maybe you lose 3 PP instead of 2. Yeah.
That's pretty strong, to be fair, though, with all the 8 PP moves that are around.
Yeah.
Although
it's
honestly
not bad.
Think, but it just goes from 4 to 3 uses overall, which is good, but it's not as crazy. It's not like if it went from 4 to 2 or from 4 to 2 uses, that would be insane. But that does also mean like if you have a CC mon trying to hit, I mean, I know there's the tomb there, but let's just say you have a CC mon trying to hit Corv, or like a mon with Fire Blast as coverage to hit Corv, it has to break through Corv quickly.
Exactly, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you all want to say about it, or?
No, not really.
Okay, I guess I'll say my bit now then. Or do you have something, Zep?
A type chart, yeah, as was.
Okay, we can do the type chart first, and then I can talk about it. It's fine.
Oh shit! Oh, I forgot the ground thing. Yeah, Corvik's good, but that is actually a problem.
You have Corv 2 priorities that are super effective on it, and a Slowking that can also hit it hard, as well as literally everything getting coverage for it. Like, it's pretty bad from a pure resist profile standard, but with how Necro plays, I don't think it'll be a problem.
Yeah, but taking the Necro out of the team, that it is just a problem when your answer to a singular type is a singular mon. No matter how the rest of the team deals with it, that will be a problem. But considering this team, this is, even if it has a Pokemon, this is a more offensive leaning team, it's not as big of a deal. It's just one of the problems of the team.
Yeah.
And the theory weakness is basically who cares. The bottom 3 is the darkness core, so who cares? And that means that if you ignore those, you have positive 1, and the fighting weakness is also like kind of whatever because you have Slowking Spiritomb.
Yeah.
But now, feel free, Necro, to say your piece.
Okay, sure. So basically the entire idea of why I drafted Darkness this season, as they alluded to, is I've always really wanted to do Delta Scyther Darkness, because Hone Claws in Darkness is very funny. So that was the entire point of the team, which is why when Zohan was like, I will trade you Rune Gross for Scyther, I had to actually think about it for a second, because Scyther was literally the entire reason why I drafted Darkness. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I think you pretty well hit on most of the stuff that I was getting at for the team. I'm actually very interested in using the Terra Delta Roselia. I think is going to actually be a really fun mod. We were running some numbers on like specs Terra Dark Lunar Cannon into things, and like it actually hits pretty hard. And also as well, like being able to use like Heliophobia on like bulky Violite sets, I think could also potentially be really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's actually going to be a really fun mod to use. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not completely sold on the Needle King. Basically, Blinn was like, "I'm going to put a Terra Needle King on this team." I'm like, "Okay." We will see how good it is.
You needed a ground, you needed a poison.
I needed a ground, I needed like a poison. It's just kind of like, okay, I guess we're just slapping a Needle King on this team. And we made it Terra. I would have liked to have Terra the Evire, but I could not afford Terra Evire plus basically the Needle King. So like it's like, okay, I guess we're not Terraing the Evire then. So that's why the Needle King is Terra.
Where do we put this team?
Yes. This.
I think this is definitely should make playoffs. I think it covers it covers the standard problems of a Darkness team pretty well. It still has some flaws, like the ground thing, it can struggle with like Scyther being the only fighting or the only physical mon for the most part. Like it has some problems, but overall I think it's definitely positive to be on the higher end of should make.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I think it can probably be above Ben. I think.
That seems
you
fair
can
and
decide
reasonable.
amongst yourselves this is better than mine or not.
Yeah. I'm gonna lean
I don't
no,
mind either
but
way.
it's close. I'm gonna lean no, but it's close.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll happily take should make playoffs. Like my teams
No.
are weird, so like
Yeah. Now from one weather
to another.
oh, DJS next.
Yep.
Yeah.
The backdoor rain team.
Yeah, which in a way is scarier. Like obviously a full rain is scarier because it's like you have like all the rain monsters, like obviously the Serpentinite, but then you also have like the Overquill and then a random Mega, then you have like probably another Swift Swimmer. That is very scary, but this team where rain wasn't the main plan, so you get a bunch of good mons first, and then you get rain, is also very scary.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because this means, like, obviously Meow Hydra Pagos has basically nothing to do with rain, but also, like that means the rain doesn't have to be up at all times for this team to function like a lot of rain teams do.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is definitely a big positive, and like even if it's only 3 months that directly benefit from the rain, because I'm not counting the final mon as a real mon. That is not a mon. That is a
Oh. But you're not counting Dry Skin Synergy Mega Delta Sableye?
Oh yeah, wait. Do you remember the team, Necro?
I actually remember most of it, yes.
But we can say it's Meow, Hydra, Delta, Pagos, Terra, Delta, Blaziken, the Rain Core with D-Knight and Serpterra, or the Delta, Klefki, Terra, Gorgeist, and then the fake mon. The mon you should get points for drafting.
Yeah. I did try to make it actually worth -1 points once, but they wouldn't let me.
Yeah. And then the good thing is, like, aside from, like, I guess Hydra doesn't like being more weak to water, but it shouldn't take the water moves to begin with, so it's not that big of a deal. Everyone here doesn't mind the rain besides Gorgeist. Gorgeist, I don't know what that's doing here. because that
Yeah.
that is the mon that really relies on synth. I
It's
guess
an offense. Sorry,
Gorgas
that's-
is just the mon for the weeks where rain doesn't show, because that's the rain will probably be most weeks because of the top three and like Serp and Dina like individually being workable outside of rain. That is like Gorgas is probably showing if you're not using a rain for, which can happen. This team can do that to a decent degree, which I like.
Mm-hmm. I honestly basically think this is just HO with screens, and it's really good at doing that because you have the anti-setup button in Pogus, you have the best scarfer in the game in Meow, you have usable priority, you have Swift Swim, you have good breaking between Meow and Hydra, and obviously just Rain being Rain. You have a usable pivot in the Superior that even if the Dragonite isn't particularly good any week, the Superior coming is not a net negative almost ever. It's just, if you like playing hyper offensive style, it is really good at doing that, barring the last two mons being kind of useless.
Yeah, this is very much a 7. Like, I assume the team had like ground, water, and fighting weaknesses, which is why the Gorgas is here. I feel like there are better mons to fill that hole.
Water weaknesses, no. Ground, yes. Fighting, also kind of yes.
Like, Gorgas is good at that, but or fighting or ground fighting, but surely there are better fit that can function instead of rain, because Gorgas it really
does not like the rain.
Yeah.
I also I don't think we've
unfortunate.
I don't think actually we've spoken about it enough. I'm really excited to see. I don't actually remember if I've seen Delta Blaze again on Rain a lot.
I think that's going to be really cool, actually. Yeah, I like that synergy a lot.
Because obviously it has Gale Wings, but usually it's bad because it has like Braybird and Hurricane. Both are bad for obvious reasons with Gale Wings. Outside of Rain, but in Rain, that can be a big scary thing to face. Because unlike Talonflame, this one is strong.
Yeah, if you go like Boots, Terra, Flying, Hurricane, Delta Blaze, like that definitely has potential to be very problematic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and
it could be quite good for sure.
I want to see for my own sake. Does this mon get Weather Ball?
I do not know.
No. Okay, that is not that big of a deal, but it's like a slight problem. It mainly means that like it can't really. That problem is it can't use Heat Wave to break steals in rain, but that's not as big of a deal.
Yeah.
And it still has a bunch of fighting moves. Well, it means it has to use Focus Blast or go mixed with like fighting options, which is not ideal, but not terribly.
No, it's not awful. It's workable.
Yeah. And with Terra, it'll figure it out.
Yeah. Especially for an HO team, this has great hazards and removal.
Yeah.
Hydro, Meow, Pagos, Klefki for hazard setting, and then you have Serpent Pagos for removal, which means you have like every option, or most every option accounted for.
Yeah. I think in general, that top 7 is just really good if you're willing to sequence win cons together, which obviously he's a good player, so he's going to. So, yeah.
We looked at the type chart. I don't think there was anything other than like Gorgeist having a bit too much to do, which not a good thing, but also
Yeah,
it's HO, like it has
minor nitpicks.
Yeah. Where do we rank the team?
I mean, I think it has to go fairly high compared to Brain, right?
It is Insurgent's Rain.
Bottom of Shuin. I think it's either bottom of Shuin or above Zeb for me.
Yeah, I like. Besides, obviously, it has unfortunate bulk just because it's HO, but it's like that's almost the only like true negative I can see.
Yeah,
Just
which like if it's HO, that's the intention, so it's fine.
Yeah, like it's kind of just like dish the bulky grass type and like figure it
Yes.
out a bit better.
Literally, yeah, literally.
And yeah, and otherwise the team's good.
Yeah.
Next team.
Agreed.
Next
I'm
team.
decently sure it's me, so I'll shut up.
It's
Oh yeah.
the Cheems.
Yeah.
Teams.
Except the Cheemsless Cheems team.
Yeah.
That's right. Because somebody went and stole the teams.
Yeah. As we've already spoken about a few times, Rage is usually one of our most like gung ho offensive guys. This team is like not the opposite because it has offense, but when you look at the top three, that is never something I would have thought Rage would be drafting.
That's why my comment was did Zeb inhabit his body for the first 3 picks?
Because quickly in the team is Delta Regirock, Territor, Torn T, Glow King, Mega Delta Medicham, Cortana, Hydreigon, Terra Volcanion, Terra Alchemy, and Delta Ocean. There's still obviously you see the right because after the top three, like everything then is either power or unmon. So like
Yeah.
that is where you see the as you say that's where I stopped picking and he picked for himself jokingly.
All right,
I
keep
hate-
yapping. I gotta duck out for like 2 minutes.
Sure.
Yes,
Literally, just keep yapping.
Yeah. But still, if I ignore that, this is Rage using the team. It's a thing that you can use it well because it's still it still has a lot of enough good buttons to click to be or like to obviously do that. But if I ignore that and just focus on the team as it is, it's definitely still a good team because it has obviously a very good defensive core that covers each other like not perfectly, but not far from it because like obviously you have like grass with Regirock that's covered by Torn. You have like special attackers with Regirock that's Cloaking can do that, like ice types for the most part. Some strong grounds can beat Regirock and Slowking. That's where Torn comes in. So besides like really strong ice types, between those three can handle most, or not necessarily beat, but at least like can check most offensive pieces, and then the rest of the team is just kind of like different offensive pieces stacked on top of each other, and like I'm very interested to see how Mega Guard performs. I've not seen it much, but it is still good for sure because obviously Staple Beam with Mega Guard special attacks that will end up be good. Like Cortana's just your token physical attacker. Hydreigon's just a good special breaker that has decent utility, and then Terra Volk is a good Terra Cab and another like the ice resist you desperately needed. I guess Guard is also there, but Guard is not as reliable, especially with Terra. Guard is not as reliable to check stuff as Volcanion is.
Yeah.
Because Volcanion can hold boots and Guard cannot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, like maybe the
Wonderful. I am back.
And I am home.
Let's go!
Nice. Okay.
So I do not have to say the mons anymore.
Yes.
Correct.
That's fair.
We can...
Also, before I say my piece on it, S or Necro, either of you have thoughts?
My thoughts are Reginald Gluck and Cortana hater. That is to me what the pink I meant what I said in that airport traffic is from.
I mean, I didn't really have too many thoughts. I mean, I've seen the Glow King Guard core before, and I think it's performed decently well. So I think there's definitely potential there.
Yeah, that is the one thing. Is like the special breaking is this breaking is very special oriented, and if Cart is either unviable or in general just faces something at a struggle breaking, which Cart can fall into a lot, like bulky flyings or like certain steel types or even some fire types.
Yeah.
That does mean this team can struggle. Like this team does not enjoy And never mind, I was about to say Delta Registeel, then I remembered there's a Volcanion, so maybe not. Well, fun enough, this team would not enjoy facing the other. This team wouldn't enjoy facing Slowking, or Glowking, but that's not a problem because you have the Glowking.
I have it, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the intended purpose of this team, or the reason why this team came to be, is if, for those who have been counting at home, I was pick 15 of 18. That meant that everything fun and offensive that I wanted to try was taken. Literally every single one. So my options were overdraft a worse offensive Delta, I think it was Haxorus, or try to make Delta Regirock work inside of my playstyle. And the best way I could necessarily think to do that was by drafting Delta Regirock plus the regen Pivot Core and then just going mono buttons after the fact. And I think I've done that okay. I do see Zeb's point where the only physical attacker is Kartana for the most part. There's some mixed potential with like Hydra and Torn, but generally the physical breaking does go through Kartana. And I think that's kind of the intended purpose. It's like there's a few modes that I can do, like that main one that I thought was kind of cool when I drafted it was just Glowking clicking Chili into the guard clicking Blizzard, which I just think is neat. But yeah, I think in general it'll be interesting to see how I pilot something like this because it's not generally my playstyle. But I already built my game for week one tomorrow, and it felt like fine. So I hope it'll continue to be that, but we'll see.
Yeah. And otherwise, the other negative, I guess, like, it's not necessarily. Well, actually, no. Never mind. It is actually a decent problem. You with the top 3, you have the neutral bulk that I praised, to be fair, but this team doesn't have a steal and it doesn't have a fairy, a real one for both. So good dragons can very much be a problem.
Yeah, I was kind of going in with the intention. Also, hi, Glenn.
Hello.
Of not caring as hard about like the type resist once I got that top 3. Like the idea was more or less, hey, here's 3 of the bulkiest things I could possibly find, and then I'm just gonna shove buttons below them. And
So, like,
yeah.
The neutral bulk will probably persist most of the time, but if there is a dragon that can set up to break, like if there is if Regirock gets chipped and like a gouging fire gets a DD off,
that's fair.
You have big problems.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
that's fair.
It's not insurmountable. It's just like one of the flaws of the team.
I mean, to be fair, Terra Fairy Volk is like its Terra type. So that is in reality probably my fairy if we're being coping about it, but like it's still fair.
That's again like we've talked negatively about other teams forcing Terra to be checks and stuff, but it's not as big here because you do have like I said, a neutral bulk to help you, and Volk. Not every team has a good dragon or a good offensive dragon.
Yeah.
As for the type chart, wait, what's your Ghost? Hydra. Okay, that's fine. Not the best Ghost ever again, but
yeah, there isn't a horse that's gonna drain and kiss me. So because of it not having that, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, until we get to the Dragapult matchup,
which is not gonna drain and kiss you.
It's not. It'll just shoot its children at you.
Alrighty, we gotta put this team somewhere.
Yeet the child.
We're at the 2-hour mark. We gotta put this team somewhere.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Oh, I can actually see the context of the other things now. Imagine that.
Indeed.
Yeah, this PRs has gone on long enough for me to wake up feeling ill, take some drugs, have a nap, wake up feeling a bit better, and then come back.
Heck yeah.
3 more teams after.
That's classic Shop at PRs, though. I don't know what you're talking about.
He woke up just in time to talk about his shit show, so it's fine.
Yes.
I think this is either like. I think this is fairly comparable to both mine and the what's the top of Shuinigan or bottom of Shuinigan.
There's
That
DJS.
would be DJS's. I do
I think
agree
it's
it's
fairly
probably around there.
comparable to those. So I think either around mine or around DJS. I think either of those.
Given that, I reckon I have had no say in half of these, but having prepped for DJ's team this week and having seen Rages, I think that Rages should go in should and not should in.
Fine.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
DJs or Rages?
Rage. Like, I think DJ's team is better. Like, a category better.
That's fair.
That's fine.
We just have the shep. This is just the shepherd core.
The line.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is literally
well,
me, Zeb. It is literally me, Zeb, Necro, and Palm all next to each other.
yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna continue that.
Next.
All right. Next up, we've got Webneil.
Neil.
Oh, God.
The hard trick room team.
I
Yeah,
can't really
pretty much.
speak on this one because I don't want to give up stuff that I prepped for tomorrow. So go ahead.
There, I'm not gonna call it a bad team, but I think this is like one of the prime examples of Perfection people having played long enough to where they don't need to draft good. They just drafting to try out stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Webney,
I mean, with Neil, I don't think it's even trying out stuff. I think it's kind of like me and my obsession with Scyther. The man just
true.
loves
Yeah,
his
yeah,
trick
yeah.
room, and he wants to just use the trick room in the Insurgents format.
because
Um,
like
Yeah.
Which
I
makes
think you're
sense.
right.
yeah, or that yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say is this team has found the perfect use for Mega Reun. Mega Reuniclus is not a trick room sweeper. It's your anti trick room mon. So like if
Yes.
if you send in like what's a mon that underslows Snorlax? I don't know, a Munchlax. You send in a
You mean
Munchlax.
Escavalier? you mean the Escavalier?
Yeah, something that
Or
like
the-
underslows or like you send out like an Iron Ball mon or something. Like if you've got something slower, he goes into Mega Reun to reset the trick room and then get the speed advantage that way. That's how you use the Mega Reuniclus on this team. Because it's essentially like the fourth fastest mon.
Which is very funny.
Yeah, I guess it's
Yeah.
like, or like yeah, if you have, or if like Laxus, or if your main trick room abusers are dead and you need your Roaring Moon to close out the game, but your trick room is going on for too long, so after your Escav has set up trick room and it's dead, now you send a Reun, sack it, and then go Moon and win.
Yeah,
I guess.
I just yeah. I think it's like against this team, you either bring a bunch of like you either have the one fat mon that walls half this team, or you bring a bunch of really slow Iron Ball stuff and then lose to Mega Reuniclus and Roaring Moon.
I mean, even
Or
then,
you-
like,
yeah,
obviously it's very clear to see that the game plan is obviously Trick Room and then Moon is here for the fast stuff and you
oh
fight
yeah.
just
No, this just to preface, this is not a good team. I don't
Oh, yeah.
think.
SMH
is-
didn't commit to the bit and have no mons over base 100 speed.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I love that team.
like,
So fun. Anyway,
also, what's the special attacker on this team?
it's
Jan
Delta
Mega.
Reuniclus Smile.
it's UFI.
I like how we
If I
all
ever
named
reused-
different Pokemon. There was a Delta Reuniclus, there was a Yan Mega, there was the UFI, and then we all ignored Mega Reuniclus because that's not a special
Yeah,
attacker.
because it's an
apparently.
unmon.
Yeah,
The
like-
Yarn Mega. Look, Mega Reuniclus is bad, but you can't call it an Unmon if you've just called Yarn Mega a Pokemon.
True.
I didn't call Yen Mega a Pokemon.
Yeah, those were two different people, but as someone who has
Yeah.
used Mega Reuniclus and dropped the league because of Mega Reuniclus,
As someone else who has also used Mega Reuniclus and immediately switched off of it after 1 week because of how egregiously awful it was.
That is fair. But yeah, shall we see the abomination that is the type chart?
Oh, it's gonna be bad.
I don't.
Bug,
there's a lot
5
of
bug
traps.
weaknesses. Hold on, 5 bug weaknesses. There is not a bug
Let's see.
neutrality on this roster.
Reun is or Delta Reun is the only neutrality.
No,
Yeah, two dark,
No.
two
there
darks,
are
two
10
psychics, and
Pokemon,
grass. Yeah.
5 weaks,
No.
5 resists.
Yeah.
There's no neutralities.
There is
Oh
no
wait,
neutrality.
yeah, Reun is.
Unicus resists bug, yeah.
True.
This is hilarious.
Yeah,
What's funnier, 5 bug weaknesses or no bug resists?
I think.
I think both.
I mean,
No bug resist we've established is very funny. So
Yeah.
Because there's 2 psychics, there's 2 darks, and there's a gray. I'm so ready for like Ned Flanders to just show up with Bandit U-turn and ruin this person's day.
yeah, pretty much.
What on earth is Ned Flanders?
It's Landorus T.
Lando T.
Oh.
You haven't heard us call
Flanders.
that before?
No. But also, when was the last time I paid attention to anyone that had a Landorus?
This is
Okay,
true.
that's fair.
When was the last time
Um,
Landorus paid attention? Anyway, let's rank this team.
Can we draft it higher than? Does it have to be Brazil?
I think, look, it should be Brazil, but we put it at bottom of might win a game because it's Wobnil with Trick Room. So that gets like.
Yeah, like
Sure.
there's scary enough stuff on there that if people don't play correctly around it, it will probably win game.
True. Like,
Look, that stack
It's
attacker is going to commit war crimes.
to be fair, yeah, that's
yes.
fair in that we have seen teams in previous or this was like bottom dips or like not perfection. We have seen full hard Trick Room that just doesn't even do well in Trick Room. This team at least has Trick Room threats upon Trick Room threats. Like Snorlax, Escav, Ryu, and Staka are 4 mons that can all be like a massive, or Delta Reed obviously. All 3 can be a massive Trick Room.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and 3 of them can also set it.
Yeah.
It's like
One
Ryu
thing
has,
I would- One thing I would like to note that I don't like about this, as someone who's used hard Trick Room before in Insurgents meta, is their counterplay to like Taunt and Encore doesn't really. They don't like if you have like a hard Trick Room team. I feel like you want one of your setters to have like a way to circumvent that sort of thing. So things like Hatterene, things like Slowbro, things that like.
Necro.
Mega Reun.
Yeah, exactly. The Mega Reun. That's
I'm
the
not.
thing that's
Nope, I'm not counting it. I am not counting it.
Oh yeah, and
Doesn't
there's
that one-
also another problem is none of the setters aside. I would assume UFI gets Trick Room. Probably a waste of a UFI, but I assume it would get that. The
It
only
probably
Trick Room
does.
setter that
I can look
gets
quick.
Pivoting is UFI.
Yes.
There's no Yuxi, no Slowking, no Mew, no Jirachi. None of them, like, you always have to hard switch or set up Trick Room yourself, which can be fine. You could probably, what will end up happening is you have your SCAF stack or Ryu, and you set Trick Room, they just stay in until they die, and then Lax comes in, for example.
Pretty
Pretty much.
much, yeah.
Which is fine, but not
Yeah.
the best. This seems something.
I can confirm Ufi does get Trick Room.
Okay, yeah, to be expected. Yeah,
Alright,
but back to. I think
did
this probably. Yeah, I. By perfection standard, it should be in.
Going to Brazil.
In Brazil, we do have 2 relegations. Like, I think it. This is. If you go back to the tier list. As
Yes, going back to the tier list.
There we go.
I feel like this is like going to Brazil affectionate, and someone is going to Brazil like.
Derogatory.
Derogatory.
Yeah, actually, yeah, let's put it in going to Brazil.
All right.
I guess we put it at the top of going to Brazil.
At the
yeah.
top of going to
Like,
Brazil.
This is when we put S in going to Brazil. We probably put the Bug Resist team in going to Brazil. It's a fun team. It's hilarious. It is also like objectively when you take out Webneil and just look at it as a whole, that's not a good team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of dog shit. Okay, second
Alright,
last
moving on.
team.
Charlie.
Slightly off topic, but I do have to go in 12 minutes, and I want to be here for Blind's team. So
Yes, speedrun strats. Speedrun strats. Where's the
Yeah.
chonk? I see a lot of hazards and I see no chonk, and this disappoints me greatly.
But why does it need
Uh,
chunk? There's like a Zarude Primarina. They're chunk.
The road is
Metagross-
not chunk.
Yeah, it is. It's chunky
Chunk
enough.
is Spider-Gross, I guess.
It's the Spider Rose, yeah. That's kind of it.
This is a team that I've said this for a few others. I'm not particularly scared. It has still mons that can do big damage. Like I always, to be fair, Haxorus Frostlass is not a bad like main offensive core, but I don't see a single one here aside from probably Haxorus that makes me scared.
Yeah.
that's completely fair. Yeah.
Terra is like mostly just a Scarfer.
Scarper.
Terra Noivern is not bad, but also like not the best. And then the bottom Prim is good, but again like not the best. Discover Prim Lover. I use Prim more defensively. On this team, it probably has to be more defensive because like a lot of the main resists. Palmad is kind of there. Righteous also just kind of there. I guess this is Righteous just the obligatory spinner. Aside the aside like
Glim is
alongside
also-
Gamora.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Gleam.
I think Glim. I don't agree that the removal is bad here. Like I think Glamora
I
is
wouldn't know.
one
I
of the
didn't
best
call it
spinners.
bad. It's just kind of.
Oh, I was talking about Rage's comment.
Oh,
Yeah, like I think Glamora is one of the best removers. Like,
I do not.
I don't
like
like
you don't need it for hazard stacking. Running like
You
mortal
kind of
spin
still
for
do
attacks.
because you kind of still do because you want Spartacus to click one of the hazards and Gleam to click the other.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, I guess. Like you still fit
like-
up most times.
And
I've-
Steals is one of the most common Gleam switch-ins, and that blocks more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I run teams with mono.
Yeah, but you are not standard. you,
Every day we must remind ourselves we are not standard. We are not normal. We are weird, stupid, nonsense people.
Yes.
well, that does cover most of us.
Okay. the
anything-
type chart.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes. Mammo swine.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of resists on both. Like, it's rare to see a team have 3 ice resists, I feel.
Yeah, it's Haxorus Frostlass Primarina.
Okay,
That's-
yeah,
that's like-
yeah, sure.
that's
This
like-
team loses to Haxorus. No, not Haxorus. Sure, this team
It-
loses to Mamoswine. Every team loses to Mamoswine, and then Mamoswine never gets picked or shows
Yeah.
up, so who cares?
It's
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Pokemon that should
exactly.
beat every team but never does.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyway,
Okay.
ratings.
In terms of ranking, what are we doing?
Bottom of might make or top of might win, I think.
I like bottom of
Bottom
my make.
That's-
Yeah,
That's
because
fair.
it's just.
I think it should be
it's
might
not-
make.
It's not bad. It's not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Like
It's just
similar
kinda
to what I
there.
said about similar to what I said about Egg. It's just very mid.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but it's also not good. Okay,
Okay.
I forgot about
Okay.
Brazil. For
Okay, we
I
have-
forgot about the final team.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay, we have 8 minutes for the grand finale. Blinn, go.
Okay, well, so I did a funny bit this season where I was like, I've used almost everything in HBF, and I was like, I'm gonna give 8 people in my prep server 1 pick each for the funny bit, and it's like they tell me what to draft, and I get that one. I don't get to I don't get to say otherwise.
You had some like minor ground rules, but otherwise,
Yeah,
even
like
if
the
they're
ground rules were things like you got to spend all of my points, you can't make me cringe, and you got to
Yeah,
give me some
and-
para captains.
very
that
quickly,
was-
I think the Delta Lab was Porpoise, the Tusk was you, and that is
Yeah,
kind of
which is
funny that you forgot to type in your left picks. You forgot to say Lando T above Tusk. If you
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then-
you kind of screwed yourself up. Then Petch was
Me.
That was Rage, yeah.
Thundy T, was that Unicro, I think?
Yes, Thundy was me.
It was Thundy, Necro, Goddle S. Then I believe the Lily was Maximus Max.
Lily
the
was
T-Tar
Maximus Max.
The T-Tar was Zed, the Ogre Pawn was Palm Tree, and then the other two were Blinn.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had to take over the other two because of what had happened. Have a look. Like, I did not have a single ice resist at all. I was like, yeah, cool. Thanks, guys.
There is a lot of ready.
Okay,
Yeah,
in my
like-
defense, at the time, you needed the special attackers. That's why I got you the Thundy.
Oh yeah, I think the first few picks, like even the double fighting, I don't hate, like because I needed ground type, and it's. Come on, guys. What happened? What happened here?
Yeah,
Find me,
I mean,
like, is there
the
any
big-
synergy anywhere here?
No, not really.
Goddle sound.
Yeah.
Goddle has Shurip. Goddle has
Yes.
Shurip.
Okay, now look at sand into the rest of my team.
It's not terrible to Great Tusk, Kevin.
Thunderous gets a Weather Ball.
What does it need to a rock move for? The flying types?
The Volt Absorb flying types, Smile.
It needs this for
You know,
Thunderous
Delta
Spear.
Weezing did go in this format.
True.
You Weatherball Zapdos, you Weatherball Delta Weezing, you need a Weatherball Mega Flygon?
And also notably, Lilligant does not get hindered by sand. Besides, I guess, just Chip. Hurricane does not get affected, but it's only sun and rain, like positive and negatively, that affects her.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad that I don't have any active, you know.
Well, you
like-
you do with the synth Ogre-Pon, but
Yeah. God, I hate everything so much.
like the reason for getting T-Tar was you needed like the three things you said you want. I think it was fire resist, psychic resist, and water resist, or an ice resist. We kind of forgot about the water part or the ice part, and then obviously I got you the psychic and fire resist, and then
was the thing on the list.
Again, this is
please.
again literally if that Wellspring was just an Napoleon, this team would actually be like semi-usable.
There was okay, so I went to
the Ogre-Pon was speed. The Ogre-Pon was you both help Goddle out with the water matchup and speed, and there was like a tiny part that was like, oh, it would be funny to give you two water types with neither resisting ice.
the other thing is like I was sitting here and I think it was Rage that was in call with me. And
It was, yeah.
what you'd mentioned a Chiyu, and I'm like, Chiyu would go so swimmingly because it's a dark resist, it's a ice resist, it takes ice beams quite well considering, and it felt like it fit.
I did consider it, but
And
then we kind of forgot it. Then Palm talked a bit about Heatran, so I forgot about Chiyu, and then I saw the T-Tar also like fitting in with or not fitting in, but covering what you wanted, and also I just think T-Tar's a fun mon, and I hope you will, for once, one of the only times you will see armored Tar, because this team does never wants sand to be up for more than 5 turns.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna be.
But I do. This might just be a personal thing because I use sand a lot. So, or like at least non-insurgents, I use sand a lot. So I'm very I'm used to sand chipping my like non-sand guys, and I'm used to it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But it's fair when you're not used to sand and you don't have a sand abuser. Besides the sure up.
I was going to get Stoutland. I was going to get Stoutland. That's how desperate I was for like a reason for this sand to exist. But I couldn't get Stoutland because I needed something to resist ice. Just anything.
How would you have felt if the Ogerpon was Heatran?
I am not a fan of Heatran. But it would have at least helped out. I think
Well, that would.
I was looking and I was like, oh, if I have this team, I was so close to just overriding this, but I'm like, no, it's for the bit. I gotta do this. There was at the point where Titar Ogerpon went, I was like, I could get Chiyu, Aegislash, and a fast thing, and I couldn't remember what the fast thing was. But I think I said to Rage, I was like, this looks so good. And I'm like, and then Zeb was like, oh, there's a Chiyu on the board. I'm like, oh, it's happening. They're getting it. This team is safe. I will be blowing this team. I was going to keep it for 4 weeks. I play Necro week 4. I'm blowing it up after 3 weeks.
Oh, come on.
You're not getting a free win. I need to stay in this division. We already had one commissioner almost relegate last season. It would be rather embarrassing if both of us went to Sky.
Very, very quickly before Rage go, I don't think we have to place it yet, but Rage, where do you think it should go? Is it worse than the Trick Room team?
Surely not. Have the speed tiers at least.
It's probably below Fearsome might win a game. It's probably below Fearsome might win a game. I think it's just a mess, but he'll fix the mess eventually. But it's just a mess.
Yeah,
That's reasonable.
It's fair and reasonable.
I do think this, like, you could argue I was the one that created the biggest problems. So, but
Yeah.
there is a genuine argument.
I'm not sure there's much of an argument.
No. There's an argument you can make that Webneil's team is better because it has such a defined identity. But I do think it is fair to put Blaine higher because it is. You can do more stuff than like Webneil is kind of like Trick Room or bust, and it's like kind of mediocre but still fine Trick Room team. And this is
I mean, just
this
the
is
week
a
I
bunch
play.
of good mons. At the very least, this is a bunch of good mons.
The week I play Curum, I'm going to have to bring Shaka Delphox. I'll just
Just
you
bring
lot are the reason for
Armor
that.
T-Tar. Armor T-Tar can probably tank like 4 Earth powers and also tank like a.
Yeah, well, knowing my luck with T-Tar, Curum will probably just like close combat me or something. I don't know.
It can body press you, which unironically might happen.
I don't think Curum gets a fighting move.
It gets focus blast.
It gets focus miss.
Okay.
It gets focus blast and body
body
press.
And body press.
And body press.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From
from
the reason that I
120.
hate T-Tar in Insurgents is like, yeah, it gets cool armor, but also every Delta gets a move pool of yes and gets either close combat or focus blast.
Okay, but
Yeah.
how much do
All
you
of
think
the ones
Curum
that already
Focus
get them.
Blast does like just a standard Curum Focus Blast does to a Armor T-Tar?
Let's see.
I guess
Well,
I'm calculating max PDF.
Oh, max speed F T-Tar, gross. We'll max attack on that thing and Stone Edge it to death.
Okay.
I don't know, like probably what, like 60?
Yeah. Okay, you can't switch in, but you can switch into Ice Beam into Focus Blast.
Yeah.
Or obviously Focus Blast. So.
But I mean, can I switch into Ice Beam into Focus Blast with Roxa?
Yes.
Big-
Actually.
Okay,
If you're Spadef, yes. If you're offensive, no.
because ignoring the removal I gave myself, what are you guys doing?
I mean, I assume our thought process was Tusk is the best or is the best removal in the game. Who cares what else you have? You have the best Deaver spinner. You don't need anything else.
My thought process for giving you Groddle was, oh hey, somebody should switch into Waters on this team.
I mean, to be fair, your thought process was also, haha, God all funny. Which
This is true. I was either going to give you Groddle or Delta Artillery.
Yeah, and that is That is very acceptable. I am quite happy with
Oh,
that because I
and
knew that was coming.
Pretty much.
Blin, you have 2 defoggers.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah,
among the
no.
best removal.
Moving on. And
Yeah, let's end this.
alrighty, let's end this recording.
Garbage.
Thank you all for coming out. This is our final tier list, unless we want to. Oh yeah, we need to figure out who's achieving perfection.
Let me have a look here.
Want to put Noah there?
Who are the top 3? Noah, S, and DJs. Let's
Yeah.
have a look. I'll give some input.
Yeah.
Noah's almost cringe, and outside of the top 3.5 mons, what's doing damage on this team?
Circuitry.
That's a no.
Circuitry.
The-
Circuitry, yeah. Oh, hello, I'm a ground type. Hello, I'm a ground type that beats Coco. Hello, I'm a ground type that your grass does not stop. Hello, I'm a ground type that your bundle's gonna miss Hydro against. Yeah, okay, that's no. Who was the other one? S.
Too much fat.
There's just like all your offense are the same types. I think DJs is the best team here.
Let me just remind myself what DJ's team.
It's backdoor rain.
Oh yeah.
Like, what were the? Let's head back to that slide real quick. What were your issues with it?
From what I remember, I mean, it is one thing is it's a 7-mon team because Gorgeist hates rain because of the synthesis, which means like it's not showing up most games, and I'm not thinking about the bottom right one that is not there. That's a blank slot, and it would be better.
Yeah,
And
I agree, but also
yeah, other than that, I don't. Oh, yeah, I mean, it is. Oh, the other thing is that, like, obviously it's an HO team, but it like that means if the game like stops for like a small period, it's very easy to bowl over the team. Otherwise, like it.
if it's real easy, can you check my prep after this? Because like, I'm waiting to see the very easy.
I'm not saying it is. I'm talking about I'm talking about if there are flaws, what the flaws are.
Yeah, I think this team is very good. Like, yeah, sure, it could lose some. Like,
I guess Pagos is just like a.
Pagos is just like, oh, you have momentum? No, you don't anymore.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Sure. I mean, it doesn't have bulk, but it probably might be the most complete of the thing it's trying to do. Is just like, yeah, sure.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see backdoor rain like accomplish tasks. Rain is typically so hard committed to.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is we have Gale Wings Hurricanes from Stab Terror.
This is true.
That's terrifying. Yeah, so
anyway, thank you all for coming out today. This has been
something
very long, and I want dinner, so alrighty, this concludes our Perfection PRs. We're gonna have to figure out the other 3 divisions, because holy fucking shit.
Indeed.
I don't think they will be as long. Famous last words.
Famous last words. Alrighty, ending the recording. Thanks for coming out. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.